loss for law enforcement and the community. Sunny in Indianapolis this morning, right now 41. Skies will stay mostly sunny much of the day with a high in the mid-50s. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. A sheriff's deputy killed in a crash in Delaware County this morning. It happened on Interstate 69 North between State Roads 26 and 32 near Gaston. The Indiana Department of Transportation sent an alert out about it just before 4 a.m. According to the Delaware County Sheriff's Office, the deputy was assisting a stranded driver along the side of the interstate when a semi heading northbound hit the deputy's patrol vehicle. Despite an immediate emergency response, the deputy died at the scene. Indiana State Police is now investigating the crash, which did close down northbound lanes this morning. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz voicing her concerns about health care costs. She ripped the idea of extending Obamacare subsidies, arguing they only help big hospitals and insurance companies.
We cannot be funneling hundreds of billions to insurance companies and hospitals and so on.
Spartz, a guest with WIBC's Tony Katz on Tuesday, she said the current system is totally broken and makes health care unaffordable for most people. Meanwhile, the House is set to vote on ending the 43-day government shutdown tonight. The average price of gas in the state today up to $3.03 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's up a few cents from Tuesday. $3.06 is the average here in Indianapolis. Usually we have some cool sunsets in the afternoon in the state of Indiana, but last night was a little different. The northern lights could be seen all throughout the state, and meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, Jason Puma, describes what caused them.
The northern lights are caused by a solar storm, essentially, when the sun ejects a wave of magnetic energy, and as that reaches the Earth's atmosphere, it interacts with the Earth's magnetic field, and it will produce the northern lights.
Puma says you could also see the northern lights again this evening. The Indiana Pacers putting up 128 points last night, but they gave up 152 in a loss to the Utah Jazz.
They got it to 20-17 very quickly out of a timeout, and from there, we just did not play well enough, and the 152 points is very disappointing.
Pacers coach Rick Carlisle after the game did mark the return of guard T.J. McConnell to the Pacers lineup. He's been out for the last few weeks with a hamstring injury. The loss drops Indiana to 1-10. They will head to Phoenix for their next game on Thursday. Now a check of traffic this morning with Matt Baer.
Yeah. Looking at this on the south side, just getting this, Jarrett. It is a crash eastbound 465 before 31 at South Meridian Street. And right now, Mercy, a right center lane is blocked. And it looks like the right shoulder as well as we check the camera here. Traffic is backed up from South Meridian to Harding Street on the south side. Now, westbound 70 has been trashed all morning. Still is westbound 70 jammed up from Arlington into the North Split. A 13-minute delay. We also have a crash in that delay. Westbound 70 at Emerson Avenue on the left shoulder. Southbound 65-70 still jammed because of construction. North Split to Washington Street because of a project that started earlier this morning, going on for the rest of the week. And through the weekend, you expect those delays for the rest of the week. East side crash, southbound 465 after Washington, slow 270. Northbound 465 east side stop and go from Brookville Road up to I-70. And in Delaware County, northbound 69 still closed at US 35 because of a fatal crash from earlier this morning. It's inbound Fall Creek Parkway that wrecked at Carlton Avenue, and we're backed up to Coliseum. Traffic sponsored by Great Lakes Honda of Fishers. At Great Lakes Honda of Fishers, it's Black Friday all month long. Lisa 2025 Ridgeline RTO this week and be entered for your chance to win a TV during Great Lakes Honda of Fishers Black Friday sale. I'm Matt Baer on the fives at WIBC Traffic.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
A forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies should warm things up nicely this afternoon. Near average for this time of year. Today's high 55. Clear, quiet, and chilly overnight, a low of 32. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, on behalf of all of us, congratulations.
On what?
Well, you braved a multi-flight event at the height of a government shutdown.
I did, and I made it out okay.
Hey, you live to tell about it.
Yeah, I did. So we flew out Friday. We left Indianapolis Airport, no problem at all. Got right through security, right on the plane, and went to Nashville. We had a connector in Nashville, and that's where the hour-and-a-half delay happened.
Oh!
Yeah, so we were really late getting to Florida. Well, later than we had planned.
Okay, by the way, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Casey has been out the past couple days. She went to Florida. Now, as someone who doesn't fly, I don't think I've ever been on a connector flight. The few times that I have flown have been straight to whatever the destination was. Is that not normal to have delays, like an hour-and-a-half delay? Is that not a normal thing?
Well, no. I mean, you try not to. These things, you know, they gotta run like a train, right?
Are the airport,
be on time.
Are they normally on time, though? That's what
Not
I'm
right
asking
now.
you. Well,
not right now. They are not.
So when you said you had an hour and a half delay, like you're just sitting in the lobby waiting to board
Sitting
the
in
plane?
the airport, yeah.
Sure. And they don't, it's probably all digital now, right? There's not some lady like in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles who puts the sign up that says delayed. It just rolls over.
Right,
You
it
see
does.
it.
And
Sure.
that it's like, we'll board at 5, 5:20, 5:30, 5:35, finally like 6. Okay, I think we're ready to board now. Okay, great. So that happened. And then on the flight back was
Wait. Let me just say, and I have loved working with you these past almost 4 years, but you were really obnoxious on your way home. I mean, you were just screaming at me about everything, and I'm like,
I was spicy, wasn't I?
Why don't you scream at your husband? He's right there. He married
I did that
you.
too.
Oh, okay, very good. So I just got it. Yes, you were angry about everything.
I was in a mood. Well, that's because when we were leaving Florida to get back, the TSA line was incredible.
Now, I thought we were supposed to be expediting that because you don't have to take the shoes off anymore.
You don't have to take the shoes off, but let me tell you something. It was a long wait to get through that security line.
Now, the last time I flew on an airplane was when I got married a couple of years ago. My wife at gunpoint forced me against my will to go to Las Vegas.
Right.
And I said, get it out of your system now because this is going to have to sustain you for a while. And on the way home, I thought I'd have a little humor with the TSA people.
Oh, no.
And my wife got enraged at me. I said, you're going to want to search her carefully. She's wanted in several states. And she didn't find that remotely funny.
No, because they will pull you aside, definitely.
Yeah, and the guy didn't respond. No chuckle. No ha ha ha. No, I was like, well, I guess humor doesn't work here.
The thing that I noticed more than anything.
Get me put in prison!
The thing that I noticed, which I don't know, I was so disappointed by it, was as I was going through the queue at TSA, you know, they've got the little stanchions that tell you where to go. On every stanchion was a big sign, and it was about self-deporting.
Oh?
And it was saying, you know, if you self-deport, we'll fly you anywhere in the world you want to go and give you $1,000.
What a deal. You should have just told them I want to self-deport to Florida.
And the thing that bothered me about that, I was like, okay, so these people came in illegally, and we gave them all sorts of free stuff.
That's right.
And now we're asking them to leave, and again, we're giving them all sorts of free stuff.
Yeah, what's your problem?
And we wonder why things are so expensive.
Well, no, we don't wonder why things are so expensive. But the reality is you made the choice to go on your own. I warned you about flying anywhere. You decided to go ahead and go through this. So I really don't have any sympathy for you.
Oh, no, I'm not looking for sympathy.
Now, can we just talk about something that did occur on your trip, which I find utterly hilarious, and we have to share this story. Your fabulous sister, who you know I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
And you said she's a big fan of mine.
Yeah.
Which is great. She has been on our show before. She is great at seeing if criminals are lying. Like that's what she's done for years for a living.
Correct.
Her job is she is the closer, right?
Right.
We think this guy's lying.
We'll find out.
Send her in, and she's perfect because she's totally unassuming, but she's essentially a trained killer.
Correct.
So you guys you're moseying around where was it that you went to?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. And you guys are moseying around the greater Fort Lauderdale area, and you said there was some guy professing to be a psychic on a street corner?
Yes. He had a table set up and a sign, and he had his tarot cards, and we thought, oh, this should be really funny. We have to do this.
Yeah.
So she sat down, and he did the reading, and throughout the whole conversation, she starts peppering him with questions, and he was getting all flustered. And at one point, I said, "How long have you been doing this?" And he said, 2 years. Okay, sure.
So she knew because Houdini used to do this later in life. Houdini's deal was he was enraged at psychics taking advantage of people and would go and would expose the psychic and the fraud or the con or whatever they were doing, and he was so enraged by it to the point where his wife kept this up years later in life, and he gave her like little code things. I will tell you if indeed I, can correspond with you from the dead. Blah blah blah. No, so she basically picked this guy apart.
Oh, absolutely. And he was saying, well, maybe you've got some addictions in your life. And she was like, no, don't really drink that much. Don't smoke. Don't do drugs. And he was like, well, maybe you spend too much money. And she was like, well,
I'm a woman. Of course I do.
It was just it was entertaining to watch that happen. And then she was asking him, are you a medium? Can you hear from people who have passed on? I'm not that kind of psychic.
He's like, no, I'm just some guy with a mortgage. Like, come on, we all know what's going on here.
I've got a folding table here on a corner. Give me $10.
Okay, so while you were gone, you were clearly bad luck in the equation because once you left, they reopened the government.
Did they?
Well, I mean, they're on the verge of it. I don't think it's
they did a practice run.
I don't think it's technically reopened yet, but yes, they're very close now at this point.
Well, and they say those FAA controllers, they're going to get 70% of their back pay within 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, so Kevin, Ethan and I had this debate yesterday. By the way, speaking of the air traffic controllers returning to work, before we get into this, here is Sean Duffy, the Transportation Secretary, talking about the air traffic controllers returning to work.
It is their jobs, and they will be paid, but it might not be immediate that they come back in. And so we're going to watch, analyze, encourage them to come back. But again, we're going to start to alleviate the restrictions that we're at 6% now. We'll alleviate that only when the data says we should.
Where are you at with Trump just pulling out of his ass? I'm going to give these people $10,000 because they did their obligated job of showing up to work during the shutdown. Like, Ethan and I were like, first of all, where are you getting that money from?
Right.
And second of all, if you're a government employee who continue to show up to work in another field, aren't you a little salty that Trump's just promising 10 grand to these guys and you're going to get nothing?
Right. Well, I mean, they should get back pay if they've been doing the job.
I'm not disputing the back
it's
pay.
A random number.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the $2,000 you're going to get tariff money.
Yeah, they've sort of.
You believe that one?
Well, they've sort of weaseled their way out of that. Oh, it could be other benefits. It'll be fine. But right, I mean, that's utterly ridiculous that Trump's like, I'm just going to give him 10 grand. Well, where's that coming from? Don't know. I'll find it somewhere. That's how we're running our government.
That is. Yes.
Oh. Moving on.
That's it exactly.
We answered that question very quickly. Okay, John Fetterman, Senator of Pennsylvania. He was on one of these shows. Was it Fox News?
He was. He was on Fox News.
Yeah, and he basically said his party done screwed up with the shutdown.
I mean, so relieved. I think my party crossed a line of now putting 42 million Americans with their SNAP benefits and making flying less safe and that kinds of chaos and not paying our military. I mean, that was a red line for me that I can't cross as a Democrat. And I think that's been described country over the party. And now I think that's been the truth throughout it. And it's only wrong to shut our government down. And I'm relieved. But the people now that are going to get paid and fed and millions of Americans, they're going to be flying now. That's going to be made more safe and restored.
Look, I get the guy had some health issues. I'm sorry. If you're a U.S. Senator and you can't complete a full sentence, you shouldn't be a U.S. Senator.
Well,
does that make me a horrible person?
He's been on TV a lot, too.
But he can't speak.
Yeah, that's true.
Dibbidi-ba.
Uh-huh.
Dibbidi-ba.
So
Ooba-ba.
the transportation secretary said that...
Did I hit? That's pretty much it, isn't it? That's everything with this guy. He does not speak in complete sentences. He doesn't put S's on plural words. Like, come on.
There was one moment when I was flying back when the flight took off, and I got a little bit nervous. And I was like, oh, boy, what are we doing here? But it was okay.
You know how you could have avoided that.
Did not fly. Rob, I'm on the I'm not flying anymore train.
Are you for real?
I'm done.
You done so?
I'm done so.
Good for you. Welcome to the team. You'll be very happy.
Yeah. If I have to go somewhere, I'm just going to have to take an extra day and drive.
All right, let's take a break. By the way, I'm still leading this because I did the Tim because Casey's very lazy and didn't want to work. So I'll lead us through this award-winning program today. I got 9 million texts yesterday about redistricting. Can we talk about that?
Yep, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's the vote to set up the vote to reopen the government.
93 WIBC.
That bill will keep the government operating through January.
What happens next?
I agree. We're in some of the subsidies to see if we can't get those premiums down.
Happens here.
The Supreme Court extended an order blocking full SNAP payments.
Stay in the know.
2 women have protective orders against former Belzer Middle School principal Victor Bush.
While you're on the go.
Another lottery fortune is building to nearly $1 billion.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even bad hair day?
Yep.
And tree branch fell on my car day?
Especially that day. Progressive has you covered 24/7 for your home and auto.
How about thought it was chicken, but it was tuna day? Or overnight construction outside my bedroom day?
Those days too.
Great, because that was each day this week.
Been there. Well, at least your home and auto are covered every day with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. Vaseline.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HUNK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 42424. That's HUNK to 42424.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Friendly reminder to change your filter. Head on over to our website at familyhvac.net for some of the best pricing on filters around.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
I got like 30 text messages yesterday about redistricting.
I didn't get one.
Yeah, I think that's because you've got a Democrat senator saying you're not in the target group.
Yeah, I'm represented by Andre Carson.
In the Congress.
In the Congress,
Yeah, not
also
in
a
the Indiana
Democrat.
Senate, though. Yeah, look, you made a choice to live here. I don't know why you chose to live here. I mean, again, it's close to your work, but you really should have thought that through.
Yeah. What did the text say?
Oh, I deleted him, but it was basically like call Brett Clark, who is I have the great misfortune of him being my state senator out there in Hendricks County, and it was basically like call and harass him about redistricting, blah blah blah. The Capital Chronicle had this article, and it's like just like over and over and over and over again. I think there were multiple groups that were sending them out too. But the Capital Chronicle had an article about this. This group, Fair Maps, is now in the game. I think they're doing TV ads in addition to some sort of text messaging campaign. And it's like, okay, why didn't you do this in August? Like, at this point, we're, August, September, October, November. I think this even started in July, maybe even June. We're 5 or 6 months into this thing. Why didn't you have people call and message and whatever when the thing started? It seems a little far along in the game. Now, Brett Clark is such a big, I can't say that. He's such a coward. He'll probably fold like a is it a wet blanket or a wet noodle or what is the wet thing I'm looking for here?
Any of those work.
Oh, any of those work.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So it may work against him. He may be so stupid that he'll go, oh, somebody called and said they want the redistricting. I better do that. Of course, I haven't been for it from the beginning. But anyway, point is, do these actually, what are they doing here? Do these actually work? Is somebody going to be sort of wed to a decision for 5 months and see no evidence and go, oh, crap, they're running TV ads. Better change my previously deeply held belief system.
It is getting the message out to people who may be less aware, isn't it?
How could anybody not be aware?
Well, you'd be surprised.
If the ad is gonna work on you, if you're paying close enough attention to the ad, wouldn't you already be engaged enough to know about the redistricting thing?
Right. So somebody who maybe isn't aware of it says, "Oh, wait, I got this message. I better call."
So they're at 13, and they got to get to 25 so that Micah can bend the knee to Braun because he's totally subservient to Braun now, and cast the tie-breaking votes. That means they got to get 12 in the next couple of weeks in order to pass this. And what these look, I don't know if they don't realize or they don't care. This, and we'll get into this a little bit with Jim Merritt, who's going to join us next. This is what enrages people. They're looking at their utility bills, they're looking at their property taxes, they're looking at gas taxes, they're looking at all these things, the IEDC corruption, and they're going, there's so many things you could address to actually improve the state, and you're not doing any of that. You're not trying to help anybody with any of that, but you guys are just nonstop on this redistricting stuff.
All in on that. And, you asked, why didn't they do this sooner? I think it's because they thought this was going to be an easy slam dunk, because here we are in Barn Red, Indiana.
You could be right. You could be right that they just took it for granted. And the pushback on the maps is a pushback on the Republican Party. And yes, I get that they have these supermajorities, but they have the supermajorities because the Democrats have just made themselves just wholly unelectable, just despicable people in many cases, and they've done that to themselves. And I hate that because it's allowed these guys not only to garner all this power, but behave and legislate in the manner in which they have, which has really done us in. But just because people feel they have no choice but to vote for someone doesn't mean they like them, doesn't mean they want to hand them more stuff. And if the Republicans get these seats, they'll just keep governing in the way they've they've governed. There's no compelling reason to give these people more power, because they should have to earn it by winning elections, and you win elections by governing better, and they're incapable of doing that.
Are you saying that this won't be a win for us, the taxpayers?
I think when you like it, you've been married for a long time, and so you've probably picked up in a marriage, you've had this, and I'm sure you've seen this from your husband, like, you can do whatever you want to do. If something doesn't get done, it's because you just don't want to put the time or effort into it in a marriage to make the other side happy or spouse or content or whatever. And in the case of the Republicans, they're proving if they want something. Why didn't they run ads like this on property taxes? Where were the people coming in? Where was the Trump administration helping people be able to afford to stay in their homes? They didn't do any of this. Braun wasn't fighting like this. He was having those stupid, ridiculous fireside chats that weren't changing anybody's mind. And here, he will not be denied on this. And people see this. Like, that's what they think. They think people are stupid and don't see what's going on. And the reality is people are paying attention. That stuff that would help them, you're not doing anything on. Something that helps you, hey, we'll see it through to the very end.
I think the answer you're looking for here is, Rob, they don't care about you. They care about themselves and staying in power.
Sure, absolutely. All right, Merritt's going to join us next. They're getting ready to make their big announcement.
Ooh, IURC?
Who's gonna screw us over next on utility bills? We'll talk about that.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Do you spend half your day walking or standing while working? If you have foot, knee, or low back pain, the Good Feet store wants to help you like we helped Tony.
Pain that I experience the most is foot pain from being on my feet all day. You're having to kind of talk to yourself through the whole shift, like, I got this, I can do this. Before, I felt defeated, and now it's like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. A whole new life, like sunshine coming on.
And here's Dennis.
Working at an amusement park, it's always on your feet. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't believe that putting these arch supports in made that much of a difference that quickly. Good Feet just took that pain away, and I could do my job, and I could take care of my family. I know what my tomorrow's going to be. It's going to be positive, and it's going to be pain-free.
You deserve a better life, too. Stop into the Good Feet store today. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall, or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Looking for a cozy spot to relax, work, or grab your coffee to go? LC Coffee House in Noblesville, Indiana has you covered. Try our indulgent affogato, a sweet blend of espresso and ice cream. Or sample our coffee flights to discover your perfect brew. In a rush, our drive-thru is ready to serve you fast and fresh. Need a space to collaborate? We offer meeting rooms perfect for co-working. Whether you're grabbing a quick drink or spending the day with us, LC Coffee House is the place to be.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Energy slipping? Losing your edge? It could be low T. Take action. Synergen X and Low T Center offer a quick free T test.
Get pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, never compounded, personalized by experts just for you. Most insurance covers it. The best you is waiting. TRTMVP.com.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It could all be over tonight. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Congress is one step closer to reopening the government.
The House Rules Committee clearing a funding package that would reopen the government until late January. Democrats tried to add an amendment to extend Affordable Care Act tax credits set to expire at the end of the year. But that, however, failed. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Our position is simple. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
The bill now heads to the House floor for final passage, with a vote expected later today. Republicans can only afford to lose 2 members if the House is in full attendance and if all Democrats vote against the bill.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz reporting. Meanwhile, President Trump is urging Senate Republicans to get rid of the Affordable Care Act and instead direct federal health care spending directly to Americans. Health industry analysts have warned that these so-called personal savings accounts would likely fail to keep up with the cost of health care. Violence against Border Patrol agents continues to rise as authorities carry out an immigration crackdown in Illinois. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem joined Fox and Friends to criticize the local officials for opposing the administration's crackdown.
Governor Pritzker's personal attacks against President Trump puts his people in jeopardy each and every day. I'm just so thrilled with the results that we've had in Chicago, and we're going to surge more resources there.
The Trump administration continues to face lawsuits over the immigration crackdown. A federal judge in Illinois recently ruled that federal agents were lying about the threats they face and illegally used rubber bullets and tear gas as a means of deterring protests. Now, your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 120 points, 47,927. The S&P 500 also in the green, up 22 points, 6,846. And the NASDAQ is up 147 to 25,533. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hi, it's Denny Smith, and when temps are dropping, it means your water heaters, softeners, and even those old pipes are under stress. Fall's the time when rain hits, the ground shifts, and tree roots start tearing into those old clay or PVC lines. LD Smith Plumbing can handle it all. Water heaters, softeners, leaks, even gas line inspections before you fire up that furnace or fireplace. And don't forget those hoses, hose bibs, and crawl space vents before the freeze hits. Call my friends at LD Smith Plumbing, the local pros I trust, or just head to ldsmithplumbing.com today.
What's Jeff Saturday up to these days?
Retiring from football means a lot of things for a guy like me. It means more time to pick up some hobbies, like baking, puzzles, and some gardening. It also means pinching pennies. And that's why I look for unclaimed property at indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, it's your money, and they want you to have it. So check indianaunclaimed.gov or text Jeff to 46220 and search now.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
They destroyed our families' factories and they took our homes. They left our bodies on the plains, the vultures.
So we are barreling towards redistricting. There's lots of moving parts, lots of big announcements, TV ads, text message ads, they're all flying. Let's make some sense of it. To do that, let's talk to a guy who knows Indiana politics and government better than maybe anybody else. 30 years in the Indiana Senate, the great Jim Merritt. Hello.
Robert.
All right, before we get to the redistricting, you got a big day tomorrow. There's so many acronyms. There's the IEDC. You guys are the IURC nominating committee.
That's exactly right. And there are 3 commission spots open, and our assignment is to nominate 3 people, 3 people for each spot. So out of the 22 interviews, we will come with 9 suggestions for the governor to pick 3 spots.
Okay, and I know you didn't have anything to do with this, but can I pick a bone with
of course.
the IURC for just a minute?
Sure.
So Braun said no more rate increases, right? That's what he said.
Yes.
And then you guys got these people that are about to come on, and they're going to have some sort of edict of no increase. Now, whether they abide by that or not, that's up to them.
Right.
But it appears that the current commission fast-tracked this Duke dealio, which is going to cost a whole bunch of people a lot of money. Don't have a right to be upset about that when shouldn't they have saved that for the new group of people who have to deal with this, that they just basically rubber-stamped more rate increases for Duke
Not knowing the time frames and if there was a imposed deadline on this, I don't know the particulars.
Well,
of
the
it.
IURC, they can make whatever deadline they want. We'll see you guys in 3 years.
Well, they could probably extend it, as well as the fact that the chairman is retiring, and a member.
We're going to be able to ship him to some island somewhere. That's what they used to do, right? What do they call that? What do they call that when they'd ship you somewhere?
Australia.
No. What was the name of it? Where they'd send you to an island?
Are you talking about Napoleon with Elba?
When they just ship you somewhere instead of it's like that was your. What's the name
you're talking
of it?
About like banished.
They should banish these people somewhere for all the damage they've done.
Well, Jim Houston has been a great chairman for the IURC, and we grew up politically together. We're two old heads that are in the political process, and this is a big day tomorrow, though.
Wait! We're not bearing the lead here. I have a right to be pissed off because Braun gave the edict of no rate increases. You got all these new people that are coming on board, and these current people exile. You could have just said it. You'd have to put a sign up. You should take the credit for it. Exile.
That's exactly
You had to Google
exile.
it, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
You know what? I used AI.
Old wordsmith. What'd you cue in to get it to come up?
I said Napoleon sending people to an island.
Exile. Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for. And these guys just run this right through, and it sort of seems like they did that deliberately.
Well, that may have happened.
That's why he needs to be exiled.
They actually they are missing a member, a commissioner. She has already left, Sarah Freeman. And so
she already left. Like
it's
peace out.
Yeah, it's explaining the unexplainable. That's what it is, Casey.
They ought to send him to one of those places with not some nice place, some snakes.
You know what's interesting? I know I was gone for a few days, so while I was in Florida, I had dinner with my cousin who lives in Florida, and I asked him. I said, "Hey," because he's real into politics and hates the Uniparty, and I said, "Do you guys have a lot of data centers here in Florida?" And the look on his face, like I might as well have been speaking in Martian. He had no idea what I was talking about. Is that just an Indiana thing that we're dealing with?
I think they're going towards. They're trying to go towards coal states where the power is reliable, and I think
water
as well as the.
I'm not it's
sure.
a peninsula.
Yeah. Well, but you don't want that alligator water. You want the good Great Lakes water that we have.
Right.
To offer.
Maybe the DeSantis administration is concentrating on something different there.
Yeah, like removing property taxes.
Yes, exactly.
All right, we didn't mean to bitch at you about other people's problems. You
Hey,
didn't
I'm
do
used
any
to
of
it.
this.
We get this every Wednesday.
I'm just going to tell you, if you tell your guy, whatever his name is, that Rob Kendall thinks he should be exiled to someplace with a bunch of snakes and alligators for screwing everybody over. Anyway, redistricting.
Yes.
These text messages have started. Casey and I don't know. You were gone. Did you get any of these text messages?
No, I didn't.
Well, you're in a district that it probably don't matter.
I have gotten them.
You got them.
Yes, I have.
Because I got a bunch of the Fair Maps people.
Yes.
It's like,
that's what I got.
Call Brett Clark. Tell him, well, there's a bunch of things I'd like to call Brett Clark and tell him. Redistricting would not be one of them. Do people actually respond to those things? They're like, oh, crap, I better call him and tell him.
It's probably kind of the eye of the beholder, but I would imagine it's information. It probably does change minds because they wouldn't be doing it unless they thought they could curve someone's attention and make people aware of it.
I don't know if they're really looking for engagement or if that's just a marketing tactic.
Well, they don't do They don't spend money on marketing that doesn't work.
Well, wait. Are you saying it's not so much people are going to call.
Right.
It's people are going to.
They're getting the text on their phone. Right. Awareness. And right.
And then Clark's going to be like, oh, crap, there's a bunch of people that are going to hate me. Which there's a bunch of people that hate you anyway for screwing people on property taxes. Good. Anyway. But then he'll be like, oh, crap, I better vote for this.
Public pressure does impact legislators.
Clark is stupid enough. He'll probably go along with that. He'd probably fall for that. But they got to get 12 more votes. They're at 13.
And they spent countless hours in caucus.
Yeah,
this is not a new subject.
Okay, your guy, you know this guy. We ripped on him yesterday. Cook.
Yeah, Eric Cook.
Eric Cook. Yeah, we got Good, Cook, Klopfenstein. Anyway, he's this senator from Bedford. He's the utility guy that the Indy Star did the big expose, was getting all the money from the utility companies and then voted basically to rubber stamp the utilities. Oh, I can't describe it like that. really sticking it to the taxpayer, to the ratepayers. He has now come out, even though he's the guy who helped draw the maps.
Yes, and they're outstanding maps.
And was like, oh, these maps are wonderful. Now he's like, oh, I didn't mean that. I'm for redistricting now. 4 years ago, these maps are the best. Now, F these maps. We got to tear them up and start over.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with Cook? What's going on with him?
I don't know. I think if I were Eric Cook, and I was surprised that he did this, but when I actually would change my mind on something, and you can change your mind, I'd have
after 5 months.
Well, in this instance, if you could have some proof of some surveys you took, or phone calls you took, or meetings you went to, and Sarah Good did it exactly right.
You look like you're going to puke, Casey.
Well, I mean, it's guy like, these fair maps are wonderful.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Yeah.
Well, Abdul looked it up, and Abdul said he's up for re-election next year on State House Saturdays. I think that's the motivation.
Oh, right. There you go.
Well,
if that's true.
Senator Good did it exactly the right way. Had a town hall meeting. Nobody that attended wanted to do it. And he, I don't know what his decision actually is going to be, but he did it very transparently. And Greg did it exactly the way it should be done. And hopefully Senator Cook and the other members of the Senate are going to make their decisions that are best for their 130,000 constituents. And what we've talked about before is that those House members who will support this do it at their, it's going to be really interesting because the votes are not there in the Senate right now, and they could actually end up voting for it and then failing in the Senate. And so I think in the end things will pass.
You think it's going down?
No, I think
it's going down like it's going to pass.
Yeah. It's not
so
going
many
down.
ways to say that.
It's going up, and it'll pass the Senate in some way. But Casey, everything's going to be open for amendment. They're going to take 2 weeks here, and so they're going to pass other things that deal with taxes, the federal government, and all that. And what happens if somebody throws a map into the amendment phase of it? A Democrat throws it in, and they won't hear it, but they'll have to discuss it. So there are a lot of
real quick.
There are a lot of corners to turn.
You touched on something I want to hit because I think it's very important. I think this is why people hate these lawmakers for doing this. When Casey and Jim, her fabulous husband, had Andrew Ireland on, state rep,
right?
You guys asked him directly about, hey, doors open.
Right.
You walk through whatever door you want to walk through. How about property taxes? I actually have the audio of Andrew Ireland's response when you said, why don't you help us with property taxes? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Ha!
Oh.
And this is why people are pissed off.
The quotes are still hanging in the air.
Because these guys, including guys like Andrew Ireland, are so dismissive of helping other people on stuff that will actually make living more affordable, but yet they will move heaven and earth to get this redistricting stuff done. And people are like, why don't you think of me for once?
Yeah.
Or not worried about getting primaried.
Yeah, exactly.
It's this is a wide open part of the coming session, and I've said before, and I'll say it again. If they add a couple more days onto those 2 weeks, they could probably dismiss the idea of going back into 2026 because in short sessions they don't do much anyway. They could tweak some things and then just not have a session in 26.
Short, long, middle.
This would be a very, very tiny session.
Yeah.
And,
yes. Go ahead, wrap it up.
I
didn't mean that. I didn't mean that direct. Like I was trying to be mean. I wanted to say some nice things about you.
Well, anyway,
wrap it up, old man.
This is going to be a very interesting 2 weeks in December.
Find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt. Merritt in the Morning is the podcast. Do not pick people that are going to screw us with these rate increases. That is your job. I'm holding you personally accountable, Jim Merritt.
I think they've gotten the message because all the interviews talked about that.
Yeah, well, hopefully your buddy gets exiled. Jim Merritt, thank you.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy and Tony Kennett, the Tonus, will call in. Let's have some fun. 93 WIBC.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Schulke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Schulke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
Helzberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Helzberg.com for up to 50% off.
I was struggling to maintain contact with the professional world.
Dr. Ferner of Indianapolis talks about why he got the new caption phone from Relay Indiana.
When I got the phone, it turned it around.
Go to RelayIndiana.com. That's RelayIndiana.com. And read up on the caption phone.
People that I talk with do not necessarily know that I have this service. It's a piece of cake.
Go to RelayIndiana.com to learn more.
The holidays are right around the corner. Is your home ready for hosting all your guests? My friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling are here to help with any unexpected plumbing or HVAC issues that we know are at the bottom of your holiday prep list. For the month of November, Hope will give you $200 off any $1,000 plus plumbing or HVAC service. Hope is here to help so you can get back to what matters most. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE or online at hopeplumbing.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Join us for Downtown Indy Alliance's 63rd Annual Circle of Lights, presented by IBEW Local 481, Friday, November 28th, with live entertainment featuring acts from ISO's Yuletide celebration, the Indianapolis Children's Choir, and Clayton Anderson. Go to downtownindy.org/holidays.
Hey, great news, Casey.
Yeah, what's that?
It turns out you don't know your own life.
Oh.
The tariffs are really helping you.
Oh, good.
Now, you may think everything's unaffordable. You may think things have gotten more expensive.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
trying to get out of the grocery store now, it is like when you go to purchase anything that resembles a week's worth of food, no matter how economically you try to do it, it feels like somebody just gave you a swift kick to the junk. I mean, it's like, I think everybody knows by now, I'm about the thriftiest person imaginable. And to get anything, I spent almost $200 at Costco, and then I had to go buy some follow-up stuff, just stuff that was like, I don't need 93 Hot Pockets, right? 12 will suffice me.
Sure.
So between the Walmart and Costco trip, it was like almost $280. And it's like, how is this sustainable for like most normal people?
Well, you're going to have to start taking a 50-year loan for groceries.
So Scott Bissett.
Whatever.
It's like Coke Coke Koch.
Mm-hmm.
Or Good Good.
Good Good.
Kloffensteinstein.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the Treasury Secretary, and he was on MSNBC. And he's like, no, the tariffs, they're actually really helping.
It's all good here.
I think that the tariffs help consumers because we are able to, if you go back and look, we have brought down the budget deficit. And MIT came out with a study that said that 42% of the great inflation was caused by the big deficit spending. So as you bring down deficit spending, inflation will come down. And the tariffs, right now we take in substantial tariff income. Over time, that will rebalance as the factories move to the U.S., and that will become the corporate income or wage income. And by bringing down the budget deficit, we are bringing down inflation.
Okay, first of all, when he's talking about the deficit going down, you're still running trillion-dollar-plus annual deficits. This is not like, what is he even talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The big bullcrap bill, just they admit, is going to add another $4 trillion plus. He's lying. I mean, he is an insulting, despicable liar when he's saying this. And then they're not moving factories back here. They're just passing the cost on to us. I mean, that's ridiculous. They're not doing that.
So there was a University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index that came out, and it dropped to 50.4, and that is near its 2008 financial crisis low.
The you don't know your own life and existence stuff is just really infuriating. And then he tried to say, hey, everything's really affordable and the economy's doing great.
We inherited an affordability crisis. We have slowed the price increases down, and they are going to continue to slow down, and that real working class wages will go up, and that will address the affordability issue. And, I think this is what Democrats are afraid to do. They've gone to the courts to try to stop President Trump and this great economy. That hasn't worked. They get overruled at SCOTUS. We go to the media, who carries their water. That hasn't worked, so they shut down the government and hurt the economy. Let's keep the economy open, let our policies kick in, and let's see if what I just talked about, let's see if those two lines cross. Costs come down, real wages go up, and then we can have an election next November.
How are costs going down when you're running trillion-dollar-plus annual deficits? How are costs going? And by the way, they act like Trump and the Republicans didn't print $5 trillion plus in 2020. They act like Trump and the Republicans weren't running trillion-dollar annual deficits pre-COVID. Like, that's so insulting. He's just flat out lying to people.
So he said that they inherited an affordability crisis. At what point does it become their own? When do they need to take ownership of the economy?
Well, it's sort of the same argument with the redistricting, right? Like, okay, they always need some boogeyman. There's always some reason they can't do whatever. And even though they have absolute control of the government right now, well, the Democrats this and the Democrats that. Or, oh, it's going to be really bad, because people won't vote for us based on how we've governed. We got to rig these maps. Okay, then you get the map. Then what's the next boogeyman? These people never accept. It's true on both sides of the aisle. They never accept accountability for the messes that they're making. And the reality of this is, between the tariffs, which will just be tax increases, people are not going to be. Now, there may be some people that invest in America. That I'm not saying that's not going to happen. But by and large, it'll just be tax increases on people, the continued money printing, the refusal to reform broken systems. Nothing's getting more affordable.
Elon Musk said something that I think is pretty interesting. He was talking about Optimus, which is the humanoid robot, right? He said it's going to be the biggest product of all time by far. But he said in the future, money may one day be measured in wattage. So that's a reference to energy as a future unit of economic value.
Well, what's the old saying? What is land the only thing they're not making any more of? That's always people said, who are pro-invest in land. Energy may become the commodity going forward, right? I mean, because it's going to be in such high demand. You may be absolutely, or he may be absolutely correct, and you by repeating it.
Yeah. And I mean, I know we're talking about groceries, but of course we've all got those utility bills. And
are they high? Are the is there something going on with utilities?
Something going on there?
Hey, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, Trump, we played some of this interview yesterday, Trump with Laura Ingraham, and they were just like, he was awful in this interview.
Yeah, I mean, he said some things that have really bothered a lot of people.
Like I said, we played some of it. The 50-year mortgage stuff was utterly ridiculous. But he talked about
workers coming into this country, and he basically took a giant dump on the American workforce.
Yes, he did.
And there are a whole bunch of people in Trump orbit who are livid about this commentary on HB1 visas.
It's coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
Hey, Mary Nigel here for Window Nation. You want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protect, and an investment that you can feel great about for years. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale this November, you could save big on windows to do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you can get 0% financing for 5 years. And your total price even includes Window Nation's professional one-day installation.
Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And if you prefer to hear what other customers have to say about Window Nation, check out the over 45,000 5-star customer reviews. Put an end to your window problems right now. Don't wait. Window Nation's end-of-the-year sale. It's your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles, 0% financing for 5 years. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to get started. That's windownation.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. And owner Chris Wedekin sells the Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, a great option for heating and cooling where ductwork can't be installed.
If you have one of those homes that has baseboard heat or electric heat, ceiling cable heat, these can be specifically designed for those houses because in those houses it's very difficult having to do all the construction and remodeling that goes with adding ductwork into those types of homes.
Find out more by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
WIBC cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at WIBC.com.
The best AI for your business isn't artificial, it's advisor intelligence. With Horizon, you get real people to help you drive real growth. Open your business account today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, how a deputy died this morning in Delaware County, who police in Carmel arrested this week and the charges he now faces, how one Indiana Congress member says they'll vote when the bill to reopen the government comes their way this evening, and a look at the new college football playoff rankings. Where did IU and Notre Dame end up? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HG1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
This might be the last day of the government shutdown. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're very optimistic about the vote tally tonight. We think this is going to happen, and we're sorry that it took this long.
That's House Speaker Mike Johnson minutes ago. That final House vote would fund the government through January while also paying federal workers and providing funding for SNAP food assistance through next September. But Republicans will have to mostly go this alone, voting to pass the bill. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries tells CNN.
House Democrats will strongly oppose any legislation that does not decisively address
the Republican health care crisis.
And Democrats are upset the funding does not include what they demanded throughout the shutdown. An extension to Obamacare subsidies set to expire at year's end, driving up the cost of health coverage for millions of Americans. Until the shutdown ends, travel's still a frustration amid air traffic controllers not getting paid, not showing up.
My flight was canceled last night, and so now we're on an earlier flight today, so hopefully I continue to get my upgrade.
I pray. I don't want to get stranded here all day.
They're in New York City. Across the country today, there are nearly 900 more flights canceled, over 600 more delays, and those issues could continue until the system is back to normal and the controllers get their paychecks. A new crackdown on illegal immigrants in Florida has led to 150 arrested accused of sex crimes, as Homeland Security also touts the crackdown in Illinois that's drawn a lot of angry anti-ICE demonstrations.
Protesters, shots fired. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says none of this noise will keep ICE from removing criminal illegal aliens from Chicago's streets. President Trump adding on social media, quote, since the launch of Midway Blitz in Chicago only weeks ago, shootings are down 35%, robberies are down 41%, and carjackings are down almost 50%.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson there mourning a sheriff's deputy in Indiana killed early this morning in Delaware County while helping a stranded driver on a highway. A truck driver lost control and his big rig hit the deputy who had just gotten married in June. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Tragic incident. It's 46 in the Circle City. Sunny skies. Today's high around 55. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02.
This morning about 3:30 a.m., Delaware County Sheriff's Department got a call of a disabled vehicle out on the interstate at the 247 mile marker. That semi was partially in the roadway, so the deputy stopped behind it to provide some protection for that semi driver.
And State Police Sergeant Scott Keegan says that deputy's vehicle was hit by another semi heading northbound on the interstate. The deputy died at the scene. He has since been identified as Corporal Blake Reynolds. Delaware County Chief Deputy Jeff Stanley called it a heartbreaking loss for the law enforcement family and for the entire county community. Carmel police say they arrested a man who led them on a chase in a stolen vehicle and then on foot. Officers patrolling an area near 96th Street and Keystone Parkway Tuesday noticed a vehicle with a license plate that had been reported stolen. When they tried to conduct a traffic stop, the driver refused to pull over and then led police on a chase. The man got out and ran after officers performed a pit maneuver on his vehicle. He was eventually caught and now faces multiple preliminary charges, including auto theft, possession of a firearm, and resisting law enforcement. Indiana Congresswoman Victoria Spartz says she's ready to vote yes on the package approved by the Senate earlier this week that will open the government back up because Democrats gave up their huge spending demands.
At least we're not increasing spending with an omnibus with over $1 trillion the Democrats demanding.
Spartz told WIBC's Tony Katz she's really happy that Republican senators avoided a huge spending bill. IMPD says a man was shot at around 8 this morning on the east side of Indianapolis. He was taken to a hospital in critical condition. No other information has been released at this time. Both Indiana and Notre Dame finding themselves in the top 10 of the latest college football playoff rankings.
And those rankings came out Tuesday night. I'm John Herrick. Indiana's 10-0 and was ranked second in those rankings for the second straight week. Notre Dame moved up from 10th last week to 9th this week. Indiana plays 3-6 Wisconsin on Saturday, while Notre Dame will face 22nd ranked Pittsburgh. Ohio State is number 1, followed by Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Georgia to round out the top 5. The playoff bracket gets finalized December 7th. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
As for college basketball action, the Butler Bulldogs breezing by Chicago State last night at Hinkle Fieldhouse 98-66. Notre Dame handled Eastern Illinois 78-58 at home. And tonight, the Indiana Hoosiers battle Milwaukee in Bloomington. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. BOOHER. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, design. The design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Boer Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. That's BoerRemodeling.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Hey, great news, Casey.
What's that?
Turns out Americans are idiots.
Oh.
And we can't work.
Well, I don't like that one bit.
Well,
I don't agree with you on that.
oh, I meant horrible news.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I get those confused.
Are you talking about Donald Trump during his interview with Laura Ingraham on the Ingraham angle?
Look, we played part of this yesterday with the 50-year mortgages in which he just was like all flippant about they get a 40-year mortgage. She's like, well, that doesn't really exist. The 30, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. And it's like
the guy from real estate, a background in real estate.
What you just appeared. It really was when the old man Bush was president. Some of our senior listeners will remember this. He went to a grocery store, and they showed him the U-Scan stuff. And the scanner, right?
Self-checkout.
Yeah, and he appeared to have no idea
how to work it.
Well, like what it was, right? And not that that's an end-all be-all, because face it, most of our presidents, many of them have had no idea how to do basic stuff. But it really told the American people, especially when he was contrasted with Bill Clinton being this younger, cool guy who's playing saxophone in Arsenio Hall. Hey, this is kind of an out-of-touch old man who's not understanding the plight of regular people or the daily, operations of regular people. And with Trump, when he's all flippant about the 50-year mortgage and then throws out the 40-year, and Laura Ingraham basically has to correct him, and he's like, whatever. It's like, well, yeah, you probably really haven't done much house financing with a 30-year mortgage, have you, Mr. President?
No.
And then they got into it with him about the air traffic controllers, and he was like, she's like, well, where are you getting the money from? I'll find it. Don't worry about it. I'm not sure that's how the government works. And then she got into it with him about the American workforce. And this, to me, was just devastating what he said.
Yeah, I can't believe it. He was saying that skilled workers are necessary, those with visas, because Americans don't have certain talents.
Let's listen to what Trump had to say.
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
People are outraged over this. And look, my wife works in a field in cybersecurity and in information technology, and there are many foreign-based workers in her field. And there are many in her field, American workers, who are capable of doing the work, who are constantly either losing their jobs or not getting hired because of the very people that he's talking about right there. I'm sure it's true in numerous fields. Like, that is insulting. I know a little bit about it because I have a spouse that's in that in that field and the way these people get hired. And look, it's all legal, right? Nobody's saying anybody's doing anything illegal. But for him to say that there aren't the workers to do these jobs, I know one field where that is flat out untrue, and these corporations in America are taking advantage of the fact that they can hire these foreign workers, bring them in, and pay them much less in many cases than what they would be paying American workers.
Yeah, undercuts U.S. wages, replaces American jobs. But back in September, Trump signed that executive order requiring the foreign skilled workers, they have to pay the $100,000 fee. So are they going to pay the fee and still come in?
You know, I had a conversation the other day with someone who was in the logistics field, and he was talking about the absolute disaster that these foreign workers are, and he specifically mentioned Indian workers coming in on these visas with the trucking industry, and what an absolute danger that is proving to be. And he's in this field that, you know, he deals with this all of the time. And it comes back to, I mean, first of all, to discuss the president's side of this, you're insulting the American workforce. Americans can do what they're incentivized to do, but if you're going to say, hey, you take your life and you go get this 4-year degree and you put your time in and you get your certifications, because I'm sure many people know this, but in the IT, cybersecurity world, whatever, and many other fields are this way too, it's continuing education. You're getting these certifications. And by the way, it's not just I go for a week and get the certification. It's months and months and months of preparation to get these things, to enhance your skills, to skill up, to blah, blah, blah. But when you're saying that you're going to be allowed to bring someone in who is willing to work, and by the way, many times what will happen with this, especially with these workers, and why these businesses are so valuable is once, especially with the trucking, this guy was talking about the other day about the trucking, is they can bring family members in, and now you've got a whole slew of people who aren't really qualified to do the thing, but they'll do it at a fraction of the price and they get their family into the country. For him to act as though there aren't people that want to do many of these jobs, and it's just a bunch of unemployed bums, or the Indian workers, or the HB1 workers, of which many of them happen to be Indians, that's so insulting, and he sounds totally aloof with that because that's simply not the case.
Well, he's saying you're not going to go from the unemployment line and go build missiles and rockets. Are people saying that? No, they're talking about using qualified Americans for those positions.
Of course.
I mean, look at Purdue University. It's one of the top engineering schools in the country.
But you can't have this conversation without talking about, look at what we've seen in our own state, in which our Secretary of State, Diego Morales, disappeared to India for 10 days, doing who knows what. We still don't know. But what we do know is his buddy Raju Shanthala, who is uber tied in to the Indian community, and he goes on this trip with a state contract, by the way, which we still don't know what he did for the, what was it, $80,000?
Checks on the businesses.
Yeah, he checks on the businesses. That's right. That was Diego's answer to me. Well, what's he do? Oh, he checks on the businesses. Like, are you okay? Like, what do you mean he checks on the businesses? Goes on this foreign trip with Diego. Oh, by the way, a venture capitalist went with them too. So that's also a giant red flag. And the guy who has the state contract, who's listed in the reports as being of the what we do know about what the Secretary of State allegedly did there, listed at, what was he, a senior advisor to Diego Morales? He's bragging on his Facebook page about how he's selling visa access into the country. Like that like all of this should be a colossal red flag. And by the way, this is just standard operating procedure for our Secretary of State. This is standard operating procedure in the Secretary of State's office on how he does business. And then when you ask him, who paid for your trip? He goes, I paid for India. No, you didn't. Yeah, I paid for India. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, this has really bothered a lot of people. I mean, think about it. He was in this one interview talking about the 50-year mortgage, he being Trump, the 600,000 Chinese students coming in. The no Epstein files have been released, by the way. You had the leader of ISIS in the White House, and it makes you wonder, this is a year ago, we were celebrating that Trump won the election and how it was morning again in America. Has your life improved?
Well, look, there is intense pressure from these mega corporations to allow these foreign workers to continue to come into this country. And it is very hard. Look, it is very easy to say something on the campaign trail, and then the rubber meets the road. It's easy to say, I don't know, I'm going to be a check and balance on somebody, or I'm going to fight for you, or I'm going to stand up for you. It's really easy to say that, and then you got to do it.
Executing something else.
Then somebody does something and takes a position. It's all easy until somebody takes a position, and then you got to actually fight for the people. And in the case of Trump, what he's clearly saying is he's not going to actually fight for us. He's not actually going to fight for you. He is going to continue to allow these foreign workers to come into this country. And the bigger issue is that in many cases, they are taking over communities, Casey. They are taking over communities. You look at these suburban communities, and many of these high-density housing developments, which ultimately that rests on the communities that have allowed them to go in. Not only are they overrun by these workers who many of them are here on these temporary worker status, temporary, citizenship type engagements, but they're living multiple families to a home. So not only do you get the foreigners coming in and taking over communities or remaking communities, oftentimes in their own image, but they're living in some cases 3 or 4 families to a home. So they're overrunning the public school system. And it is just an absolute crisis in this country. And the president appears unwilling to address it. And then he's insulting the American workforce in the process.
Right. Well, he's insisting that there's a specialized expertise gap. And that's what is his justification.
Look, no, this has nothing to do with expertise. This has to do with the ability that they can bring people over here who will do the work, not as well. And one of the dirty little secrets in these megacorps is they sometimes have to bring in 2 or 3 foreign workers to do the job of one American, but they can pay them so little that even if it takes 2 or 3 of them, they're still able to do it cheaper than what it would be to pay one American. That's not it at all. He's lying when he says that, and I hope he is just naive to it and he's not intentionally lying, but that is so insulting, and there are a lot of people that are really pissed off at him right now for saying that.
Yeah, he really needs to look at the people that are advising him. Who's surrounding him? And you know who's most upset about this has got to be J.D. Vance. He's like, I'm next. You're ruining it. Stop talking.
I pay for India. I pay.
It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The Secret Service announced that they have dismantled basically an electronic spying ring, 300 SIM servers, and 100,000 SIM cards. This network that was broken up would have the ability to text everybody in the United States within a couple of seconds.
Yeah, no arrests concerns me, but the fact that they caught it is awesome.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Right now at Tom Roush Lincoln, get a 2025 Lincoln Corsair for $4,000 off plus 0% APR. 2025 Lincoln Aviator from $5,000 off plus 0%. Or 2025 Lincoln Nautilus for $4,500 off. Also 0% APR. So come get that new Lincoln at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fisher.
Corsair MSRP 51,720. Aviator MSRP 72,225. Nautilus MSRP 71,60. 0% APR for 48 months on qualifying Lincolns. Good through 12/1/2025. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
AdventNose.com. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this
Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with the princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
All right, so the Democrats got a real conundrum on their hands, Casey. They got to figure out what to do with Chuck Schumer now.
I thought, what do you mean, what to do with him?
Well, I mean...
He's just going to run again.
Well, the left hates him. The establishment likes him. The party's a dumpster fire. And now you've got to do this juggling act of, one, who are you going to put in his place if you get rid of him? And we'll get to that later in the show. But it's also like, okay, if you let the insane people just take over, then the money people are going to pull out. So what do you do if you're the Democrats? Schumer had the whole thing was ridiculous. He handled it all wrong. But there was no win here. There was never... They were banking on the Republicans caving on the Obamacare vote. And ultimately...
Which they're now relabeling, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
ACA.
It's going to be... Yes, it's not Obamacare anymore, because that would look horrible if we vote to extend Obamacare again, which they will do. But, the left is just livid at this guy who didn't really have any good options. He took the worst of the bad options. And so Hakeem Jeffries, who's the leader in the House, he basically got asked about Schumer, and he's really trying to kind of come to his defense and put on a brave face through all this.
Leader Schumer did not bless this agreement. He voted against it. And, of course, Senate Democrats who voted no have made that clear. And what we've seen from Senate Democrats over the last 7 weeks has been part of a valiant fight that we have waged together to stand up in defense of the health, the safety, and the economic well-being of the American people. And we know Senate Democrats voted down the partisan Republican spending bill that gutted the health care of the American people 15 or 16 different times. And listen, it's unfortunate that you had 8 or so Democrats, 7 Democrats, who made the decision to vote in a different way than the overwhelming majority of the Senate Democratic caucus, and what you'll see from the overwhelming majority of House Democrats when the bill comes over to us. But they're going to have to explain themselves.
I mean, the logical play would have been... I mean, Ethan and I talked about this yesterday. Given the bad job the Republicans are doing and then unhappiness by the public based on the polling, and you saw the elections kind of bear some of this out, all the Democrats basically had to do or have had to do is just go hide in their home. Let the Republicans do it. It's not going to get any better. They're not doing anything to make anything more affordable. That's the overwhelming majority of people, what they vote on. And then the pendulum will probably swing back your way next year. But they're making it hard for that to happen by continuing to interfere. Just let them vote to keep the government open. Nothing's going to get better that matters to people. And then next year you're in a great position. Now you guys are seen as bad as the Republicans.
Think about this. All of this, 41, 43 days? What is it? What's the tally?
I think we're is it 43?
43 days.
I think you're right.
And then they're just going to have to do this all over again in January.
Well, look, the whole thing is a disaster. And you have, what's the whole thing? If your enemy's going to harm themselves, just get out of the way. I know it's not popular, but all we're doing is funding Joe Biden's government anyway. Joe Biden's spending levels, Joe Biden's spending priorities, all the Republicans are doing. They agree, the Democrats do, with 90% of the stuff or 95% of stuff probably in this budget. They voted for it before. And just say, look, we're powerless to stop it. We can't shut the government down. Then when everything sucks a year from now, remember that when you go vote. That should have been the play. But now they've inserted themselves into it. So CNN came out with a little polling on Schumer versus AOC, and I thought this was fascinating how they're viewed in New York.
But of course, the ultimate way to get Chuck Schumer out of office is to beat him in New York State. So how do New York State Democrats feel about Chuck Schumer? And take a look here, the net favorable among New York Democrats. Chuck Schumer is above water with the Democrats in his home state, but just by 16 points. Look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez running way ahead. If she decides to challenge Chuck Schumer and come 2028, she's got a real leg up on the competition. I dare say at this point she would be the favorite to beat him, which would be something that would just blow my mind, even just a few years ago, given that Chuck Schumer, of course, is a New York born bred type of guy.
Yeah, those are incredible.
Look at that, 30 points ahead. My goodness gracious.
Well, Chuck Schumer's also been in office for 40 years.
Sure.
And I think people are really getting tired of these people that are in office forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, you know what's interesting, though, and we'll get to this. I want to play this one other clip of Hakeem Jeffries, but then I want to get to this. No, we'll hold off. We'll hold off of that. I want to tell this is interesting. So there was a poll that came out, Emerson College, which is a known polling universe, right? They polled on a whole bunch of stuff. And they asked Democrats, they said, who is your favorite for president, right, in 2028? Who do you like? Gavin Newsom is now the overwhelming leader in this poll. Last year it was Kamala Harris at this time. She's way down. Newsom is way up at like 24%. And then it's Kamala and then Buttigieg. And then AOC at 3%. Now, she was at 1% this time last year. But we're always led to believe, because she gets so much media coverage, people are clamoring.
They love her.
Yeah, they're just clamoring for AOC. She's never really faced any sort of opposition, and you better believe that if she runs against Schumer for a statewide election in New York, they're gonna just bring everything out on her. How is she gonna stand up? A person who, in the media's mind, is super popular, but the actual bearing out, it hasn't shown, hey, all these Democrats really love her, and then once the dirt starts coming out, right? And these old guys know how to win. That's why they stay in there. That's their life. They're not going to go away unless they're kicking and screaming. And I just don't think it's some clear-cut thing that Schumer's done the way some people do.
No, I don't think so either, because you have to consider the money, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
He's going to have all the backing.
And the one thing that guys like Schumer, for all their huffing and puffing, they are largely controllable. They are largely part of the same orbit as most of the Republicans. They may differ slightly on certain things. But at the end of the day, the uniparty money train is not going to let this stop because they're too invested in it. So they're going to do everything they can to defend him.
Well, and if AOC were to win his seat, New Yorkers would be giving up some of their power because she would be the junior senator.
You are correct. All right. When we come back, speaking of people that are crazy, Bernie Sanders yesterday, he's been rolling the last couple days. We'll play you some audio of Sanders about the shutdown.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Barack Obama is back and pushing Democrat-run states like California to rig the midterm elections and put more leftists in Congress. Joe Biden already counted illegals in the 2020 census, but they still want more.
We've watched the Democrats destroy our country.
Now, President Trump is fighting back, and it's time for Indiana to join that fight. Indiana legislators will have a chance to stand with President Trump, level the playing field, and pass fair maps when they convene for a special session on December 1st. Trump's agenda to save America hangs in the balance, and now more than ever, we need leaders with the stomach for a fight. Senator Jim Buck is refusing to tell Hoosiers if he stands with President Trump or Barack Obama and Gavin Newsom. Call Senator Jim Buck today and tell him our country can't afford for him to sit this fight out. It's time for him to stand with President Trump and pass fair maps now. Paid for by Building a Better Economy.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joyce House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Today's the day for the House. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 10:30. A spending bill to fund the government has advanced to the House, where lawmakers are expected to vote on it later today.
There are strong indications that the federal government will reopen. We have seen those House lawmakers start to make their way right back here to Capitol Hill to vote on a package recently approved by the Senate. It would reopen the government. It would also fund certain government functions a few more months. Some lawmakers are flying in, others are driving, one member taking a motorcycle. Speaker Johnson will swear in a new Democratic representative from Arizona. Following that, debate begins on a rule and then later a vote on the Senate package.
Fox's Mark Meredith reporting a number of Democrats in the House could oppose the measure, as it does not include an extension of health care subsidies that are set to expire. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident the economic situation of many Americans will begin to improve despite what he calls a tough period. The Treasury Secretary told Fox and Friends that President Trump hopes to increase wages for workers by bringing manufacturing back to the country.
There is the inflation line. We've got that under control. It's leveled out. That is going to start turning down. Then there's the income line, which under Biden, because so many of the jobs were government jobs, you can't get real wage growth from a government job. Real wages are going to increase.
Right. Secretary Bessent also added that the administration will be making substantial announcements over the next couple of days on their efforts to bring down prices. And a new world record being set today for the greatest gathering of bagpipers in one spot. 374 pipers, to be exact, took over Melbourne's Federation Square to blast some AC/DC this morning. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's the season of giving, and my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating and Cooling invite you to join them in a wonderful cause. During the month of November, Hope is raising money for the Colburn Place and will match donations up to $10,000. Colburn Place is where survivors find safety, support, and hope for a new beginning, and Hope Plumbing, Heating and Cooling is proud to support such a fantastic local organization. To donate, please visit colburnplace.org/hope. That's colburnplace.org/hope. Let's help bring joy to those who need it most.
Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
And it's really important to me, too, why we're getting to do this, is that you get to go be with Bay.
I get to go be with my husband.
Simple Quarters was the best option for me because I ended up connecting with Ronnie on a personal level. There was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Any heating and air conditioning problem you've got, we can take care of you. 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on
before I get to this Bernie Sanders audio, which is just, he is an enigma to me because like 90% of the time he's completely bonkers, and then there's 10% of the time you're like, that's probably right. He's probably right on with that.
Well, you got to sift through all the other bonkers
right.
first to get there. He just likes to complain. That's what he does. Complains about everything, never does anything about it.
I told this story before, but I was talking to a journalist one time, a guy who's been around for a long time, and I asked him, I said, do these guys lie to you? He goes, oh, yeah, all the time. And he goes, I said, well, like, doesn't that bother you? He goes, yeah, you know, when I started it did, but then I realized they all lie all the time. And if I got pissed off every time somebody lied to me, I'd just be enraged. And he goes, I just accepted a long time ago. These guys all lie, all these politicians, both parties, and like 80% of it's crap. but 20% of it's good, and it's my job to figure out what the 20% is, and that's where you get the interesting information, is the 20%. And so that's kind of how I judge a Bernie Sanders. Anyway, before that, though, I got to say thank you to Denny Smith.
Oh.
Our pal, the Home and Garden superstar, Denny Smith. My garbage disposal had stopped working. Like I was, flipping the switch and like nothing was happening. I thought this is not going to be good. And I had my dad come over and he looks at it and goes,
yeah, that's broke.
Yeah, he said you're screwed, except he didn't say screwed.
Yeah.
And I said, well, thanks for your help, Dad. I really appreciate that. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? I guess I got to call a plumber. So I text Denny, because people don't know. Denny, many people do, but Denny was a plumber. His father was a very famous, well-respected plumber. I was like, maybe Denny can give me some advice. So I texted him. I said, garbage disposal is not working. What can I do? And he said, have you hit the reset button?
Oh.
Where the hell's the reset button?
Is it on the disposer?
Yeah, it's on the thing. And so, fumbling around. I hit it, and I flip the switch, and it works, right?
Good.
But it still doesn't sound totally right. I'm like, okay, it's working, but it doesn't sound totally right. He's like, put some cold water in there and let it run for like a minute, and then turn it back on. So I did. Boom, 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 turn on. Worked great.
It was just getting overheated, huh?
So Denny Smith probably saved me $50,000 replacing that garbage disposal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good call.
I had to thank him for that.
It's like your garbage disposal, just like data centers. They need all that water just to cool off.
Yeah. My leaving the faucet on for a minute.
What are you putting down there?
Well, I think it's just a normal thing.
Okay.
I think he said that something gets in the somewhere or something. I don't know. Once it worked, I didn't care. This is where we're working again. So
okay.
I felt pretty good about myself that I solved a problem by asking somebody else.
Right, you delegated that out. Congratulations. Well, you knew who to call.
Yeah. It's all about having friends that know what's going on. All right, so Bernie Sanders, he was on MSNBC, and he said the thing. We talked about this fact just a little bit ago. They were talking about replacing Chuck Schumer because the left is so mad at Chuck Schumer. And Sanders, I don't know if he meant to say it or not because he's kind of ripping on Schumer, but he said what he said. Who in the world are you going to replace this guy with? It's all well and good to say let's get rid of him, but who's up next?
Look, what you got right now, Chuck Schumer is part of the establishment. And I'm sorry to say that many people in the Democratic caucus are part of it. I would say we have 8 or 9 out of 47 people who I would consider to be progressives. So you can argue, and I can make the case that Chuck Schumer has done a lot of bad things. But I think getting rid of him, who's going to replace him? Who is going to replace him? The issue right now is doing primaries, getting people involved in the political process who are going to create a government and an economy that works for everybody, who have the guts to take on the oligarchs. So I think we need to take on the Democratic establishment all over this country.
Hasn't he been saying he's going to take on the oligarchs for 4, 5, 6 decades now?
Yes. Or would you just do it? Mm-hmm. Because then if you did it, well, then you couldn't grift and freeload off of it.
Right, there's that. And when he says, we need to get more new people involved, okay, you want more Mamdanis?
Well, he does.
Well, clearly he does.
And we'll get to that in a second. Mm-hmm. But the other thing that was interesting is one of the guys who sided with the Democrats is Angus King. And Angus King, not to be confused with Angus Young of AC/DC.
Totally different guy.
Every time I hear the name Angus King, I think of Angus Young from AC/DC. But Angus King is it Maine? I think he's from Maine. Yes, he's an independent, but he always caucuses with Democrats. He's super liberal, but he's technically an independent from the state of Maine. And he sided with the Democrats on this to the guys and girls who voted to reopen the government. And Sanders and King are generally like simpatico on a lot of stuff. And so it's interesting. Sanders was doing the rounds. This one was on CNN. He got asked about his buddy siding with the Republicans. And here's what he had to say.
Your fellow independent from New England, Senator Angus King, was asked this morning to respond to your criticisms of the Democrats who voted yes last night. He said, his response was, "What's your strategy, man?" And, quote, "Standing up to Donald Trump didn't work."
Well, maybe Angus didn't notice the elections on Tuesday. I thought that they worked pretty well. Maybe Angus is not noticing the polling, which shows that correctly people understand that Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. They are holding Republicans accountable. And you got to stand firm. This is tough stuff. And Angus is right. A lot of people are hurting. Nobody feels good about this. Nobody feels good about federal employees not getting a paycheck. But we are winning, in my view. I think the Republicans are on the defensive. And in my view, it was the vote that Angus cast was the wrong vote.
Of course he did. Democrats won in blue states where they were expected to win.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, this wasn't the big flex that he's thinking it is.
Sure, they won in Virginia, which leans blue. It obviously did have a Republican governor. They won in New Jersey, which is blue. They get every so often a Chris Christie type who can win there, and they won in California. I mean, there was no major swing state, huge victories where you're like, or red states where Democrats were winning seats. And I just think a lot of these people looked at this, these somewhat reasonable people. Look, again, and I wholly disagree with the government being reopened. I think the spending's totally out of control. I'm where Rand Paul was, which is this is ridiculous. It's got to stop at some point. I would have certainly voted to keep it shut down. But these people in the middle, and they're just like, well, the Republicans aren't caving. There's no way we're going to get what we want as long as it's closed. So why don't we just, at least we're going to get some sort of vote on Obamacare, and we'll see what happens with that. But to Sanders, with no cards to play, he's like, well, you screwed everybody by doing the thing that was always going to be done to begin with.
Yeah. So he said what? He said he was very disappointed, and it was a disaster, and he called it all meaningless.
Now, he was
What's that saying about his own job, though, by the way, if he's saying that everything was meaningless?
Well, he's 84 years old. I looked this up. He's 84 years old. And again, you have a guy who's accomplished nothing. He's been there because a lot of people forget, he was in the House of Representatives for quite a while before he was in the Senate. He's been in the Senate since 2007. So, I mean, he's going on 20 years he's been there. There's no major accomplishments from this guy. There's nothing anybody looks at and goes, oh, thank God Bernie Sanders was there. You can say the same thing about his time in the House of Representatives. I think 91, he was, 1990, he was elected to the House. So he's been in the House going on, 35 years. And he's just a career government grifter loser.
He likes to put it out there like he's this rebel, right? Going up against the establishment, but that he always votes with them.
Yeah, and he's made, I mean, look at the times they took the election from him. The Democrats took that election from him twice with Clinton and Biden, and what'd he do? He rolled over and played dead both times. Oh, that's too bad. If you were a fighter, you would have been like, oh, you're going to take this out of my cold, dead hands. But he got promised all this stuff and these chairmanships and, committee heads. And look, the guy's got how many homes and the cars and everything. Yeah, right. He's a fraud. He's a total fraudster. Now, he was on...
He's still taking on the oligarchs, by the way.
The Brian Tyler Cohen podcast. I've never even heard of this guy.
Okay.
And he was talking, basically saying that Democrats need to run more far-left people like Mondami.
Yikes.
So what we have got to do is go above and beyond what happened yesterday, that terrible, terrible vote, and understand that, yes, you have parts of the Democratic establishment who are way, way out of touch with where the American people are or where we have got to go. And our job is to build a political movement. We are doing it with the 3 candidates for the Senate. I expect more to come with many candidates in the House. Candidates all over this country running for local office. We're going to build that movement, grassroots movement, to do what Mamdani did in New York City, all over this country.
They'll win some of these, though, in some of these left states, because we've talked about this before, like with Mamdani. There's no opposition now. New York is all not just Democrat, it's far left. They'll start winning some of these, and that's going to be fascinating when these agitators get in the Senate, because we've seen it hasn't gone well for them in the House of Representatives, and it'll be interesting to see how that institution deals with these crazy people if indeed they get in there.
Well, he's saying they need more candidates like Mamdani. 15% of Mamdani's voters didn't back Harris in 24. That was an outlier.
All right, let's take a break. Hammer's next.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, they may actually get this shutdown done with. And President Trump swings and misses for the second time. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new 2026 Corolla, $219 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag, title license, 249 dealer doc, 36 months RAV4 model, 4432, 39 months Corolla model, 1852, 29.99 due, 0 security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/30.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, one of the things the last several days should have reminded you of is that cold weather is right around the corner, and if your windows aren't working properly, you're facing several months of an Indiana winter in a cold and drafty home. You don't have to do that, though. That's where Universal Windows Direct comes in. Right now, what a great time to buy with Universal Windows Direct. For every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free, no limit. Then on top of that, 36 months of 0% financing with equal monthly payments, same as cash. And last but certainly not least, a $1,000 bonus off your project. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. 36 months, 0% financing with equal monthly payments, same as cash, and a $1,000 bonus off your project. Some restrictions may apply, so to get all the details and schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switchnow. That's shopify.com/switchnow.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. TurboTax stores opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Join WIBC this Saturday for the Home and Garden Show, live from 9 till 1 at Sullivan Hardware, 71st and Keystone for Turkey Fest. Check out all the ways to cook a turkey. Don't miss trash can turkey. All this Saturday at Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone.
It's time for one of my favorite segments of the year. We have to ruin some people's days in Brownsburg. Nominate me for an award I'll never receive. But it does force them to send out the rejection letters, which are always hilarious. Jason Hammer joins us now. Jason Hammer, hello.
I think I've gotten 4 or 5 of those rejection letters on your behalf.
It's an annual, it's like, you can always count on Radiothon and Rob Kendall flooding the Brownsburg Education Foundation with Hall of Fame nominations. And so they have to send out those rejection letters. Two of the great things we do every year here on WIBC.
So Brownsburg's academic school Hall of Fame, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah, High School Hall of Fame. Yeah.
High School Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure they've got some great athletes in there. I'm sure probably Gordon Hayward's probably in there.
No.
He's not?
No. I've never heard of almost any of these people that are in.
Gordon Hayward, who won a state championship on a game-winning shot for Brownsburg High School,
not in.
Is not in the High School Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Drew Storer and Lance Lynn. No, none of those
None
people.
of them.
But let's face it.
Who the hell's in?
I told you there's a bunch of people that I've never heard of most of these people that are in the High School Hall of Fame. You would think they would do something like that because, like, you're in the Beech Grove High School Hall of Fame.
I am.
With Brian Bosma.
I'm in there. Right. Meet Mike Chappell, Brian Bosma, Katie Geralds.
No, I've never heard of any of these people that are in this Hall of Fame, except like maybe 1 or 2 of them. So every year,
what are they looking for?
I don't know.
Like, is there a bigger ambassador to Brownsburg High School than Gordon Hayward, who, again, I can't stress this enough, hit a game-winning shot to win a state championship in basketball for them?
Look, if you're going to say who's done more for the community, I've done way more than Gordon Hayward did. No offense, and I like his dad. His dad's nice. He still lives there. But that dude, he skadoodled on out of town and made $1 gajillion somewhere else. I've saved $1 gajillion for the people of that town. I've stayed around. I've kept fighting.
All I know is I don't see anybody wearing a Rob Kendall jersey.
Well, because you haven't sold them on the Hammer and Nigel store. Here's the names of the people in the Hall of Fame. You tell me you heard of any of these people. I know one of these people, all right? Kenneth Bain.
He was class of 23, inductee.
Jill Jackson Eicher.
Nope.
Kenneth Butow.
I feel like the construction workers in the movie Major League when they're looking at the roster. I've never heard of these guys.
I don't know who these people are, right? Like you would
this
think
guy's dead.
It would be some of the big names. That Chloe Dygert woman was in the Olympics. You'd think like somebody like that would be up there, but no, it's a bunch of people nobody's ever heard of.
Well, if it's a group of people that no one's heard of, then why can't you be in?
Well, exactly right.
Because there's the criteria: has demonstrated leadership, character, and service to society in general.
You were an elected official.
That's right. Who
or
cut more
to a
taxes than me?
specific segment of society. Have you received honors, awards, or other recognitions on a local, regional, national,
Number
or
one rated radio show?
And honestly, the biggest ambassador to Brownsburg.
That's right.
Like, it's almost a running joke here at the station. What's going to happen first? Rob mentions Brownsburg, or Nigel talks about how he worked at X103 because he still thinks that's relevant.
Yeah, this is very odd the way they do this, and no offense to the people that they've put in there, but just when you think of Brownsburg, as you said, there's just all these names that would roll off all these athletes or people who are accomplished things outside of athletics, and just they're not in.
You talk about it all the time on a number one rated show.
Right.
You've been an elected official. You bring more attention to that town. You've helped the people save money on taxes. Why are you not in?
That's right. I think because I helped them save money on taxes. I think that's why I'm not in. I think they're still salty over the $100 million they lost on that referendum.
Right.
So how do we get you in? Is it different this year? Is it the same?
No, I'm doing what I always do. I'm going to do this here on Twitter at Rob M. Kendall. I'm going to post the form.
Okay.
And there's a form. It is now up at Rob M. Kendall. You just fill the form out. It was class of 2002. I think you need to know that.
Because there's some information we need from you.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
right.
graduated class of 2002.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see if we can read through the form here live on the program. This is some great radio here. Electronic nomination form. Most of the stuff is pretty straightforward. Yeah, name, that's right. Pretty easy. Add. You could just put 40 Monument Circle, Indianapolis, Indiana as my address.
So if they're looking for an address, the WIBC address, 40 Monument Circle.
46204, 2002, graduating year.
Why is the nominee worthy of the Alumni Hall of Fame?
Because you people suck.
3 words, tax-cutting machine.
That's right. That's exactly what you should put on there.
Since graduation, please list any special professional achievements of the nominee.
He cost you people $100 million you didn't need. That's his accomplishment.
He exposed all the fraud and corruption inside your own building.
So we do this because they're never letting me in, and this is one of our favorite bits every year because they do, to their credit, send out rejection letters to every person, or at least they did, I assume they're still going to do this, to every person who nominates someone, and we'd love to get those rejection letters, knowing they have to send out sometimes hundreds of rejection letters.
And the real reality is, I promise you, nobody's getting more nomination votes than you are.
That's right.
But yet they still ignore it, and they put in somebody that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, I'm like the Kurt Schilling of the Brownsburg High School Hall of Fame. The guy who desperately deserves to be in. Numbers bear out that he should be in, but will never get in because of my politics.
Correct. I was also going to go with Pete Rose, kind of a degenerate. People don't like you. But Kurt Schilling works too.
So add Robin Kendall. I got the form up if you want to fill it out.
Is there a number we can call? Because let's do some full-on bowel harvesting.
We should do that. Maybe I'll look and see if there's somebody we can bug tomorrow about
Get
that.
a contact number, and we'll call them on the air tomorrow.
Perfect.
We'll do another round of calling lying dudes.
There
Boy,
you go.
I missed that. I missed that segment. What's coming up this afternoon?
The Tonus, Tony Kennett, will join us. Is this Epstein story anything? Is this going to bring down Trump? Is this a big deal? We'll talk about that and some other stuff.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Are you about to make a $100,000 Social Security mistake? And the worst part, you'll never even know it. The biggest mistake with Social Security isn't when you file, it's how Social Security is impacted by your IRA and 401k withdrawals, taxes, and even your Medicare premiums. One tiny oversight, and most people make this one, could cost you 6 figures in lifetime income. Do you hear me? 6 figures in lifetime income.
But you can avoid this with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. This isn't some generic report. It is customized for you, and it's absolutely free. Even if you're not a client, it's free. And if you've saved at least $200,000 but have not yet filed for Social Security, call right now. 317-648-5120. Get that free analysis. 648-5120 or visit yourretirementguy.com.
Groceries, gas, just about everything you can buy comes with a tax on it. No matter what, the government's always there to take their cut of your cash. Your money belongs to you. That's why Congressman Jim Baird joined with President Donald Trump to pass historic legislation to ensure you keep more of your hard-earned cash. According to the White House, Congressman Baird's vote means Americans will receive a tax cut, saving over $10,000 every year. They'll get no taxes on tips for workers, and families will receive permanent increases to child tax credits and expanded child care access. That means bigger paychecks, a stronger economy, and more prosperity across our nation. To learn more about how President Trump and Congressman Jim Baird are saving American families money and putting money in your wallet, call Congressman Baird's office at 317-563-5567 or visit baird.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives. It's the most wonderful time of year at Sundown Gardens. Join them Saturday, November 22nd for their annual holiday open house. Stroll through the garden shop to shop the festive decor, enjoy food samples, and sign up for giveaways and door prizes with your purchase. Fresh-cut trees, greenery, wreaths, porch pots, and more will fill the greenhouse. Bring your family and friends to enjoy the festivities. Sundown Gardens, located on the corner of 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. And don't forget to bring your holiday spirit.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Don't stress about plumbing repairs. Call LD Smith for honest advice and a free second opinion on any estimate.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, a somber day across the law enforcement community and in Delaware County. How a deputy was killed early this morning, or a man was shot early this morning in Indianapolis, adding to the number of shootings already happening this week, and who made the trip to Fort Wayne today, joining one of Indiana's senators. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
After 43 days, the government shutdown may be over in just hours. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I just want to apologize to any Americans who are out there who still have flight cancellations or delays today. I want to apologize to the many American families who are made to go hungry.
But House Speaker Mike Johnson says it's not his fault.
All of that's on the Democrats.
He's confident Republicans have the votes to approve the funding through January 30th to reopen the government. Democrats will vote no, because the bill does not include what they had been demanding, an extension of Obamacare subsidies set to expire at the end of the year, making health care cost more for millions of Americans.
President Trump says Congress should repeal Obamacare and replace it with Trump Care, a system he says where the government provides an account for Americans to buy their own health insurance. Democrats say Republicans have offered no credible alternative that would actually lower costs for consumers, as Republicans tried unsuccessfully to repeal Obamacare in the first Trump term.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. The shutdown is still affecting travel, making it stressful.
I'm worried right now, like it could get canceled at any second.
Even today, every time my phone went off, I was like, oh, did my flight get canceled? I'm still worried about it till we get home.
There at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, there are nearly 900 flights canceled, over 700 delays. That is down from the peak, as fewer air traffic controllers are absent, with their paychecks coming soon once the government reopens. There's a new crackdown on illegal immigrants in Florida. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem tells Fox.
I call it Operation Dirtbag, because these individuals were sex offenders, but not just sex offenders. They targeted children. So sexual assault, battery, attempted homicide. These 150 individuals will be gone off of our streets. Our kids will be safer.
Noem's also touting the crackdown in the Chicago area that's drawn a lot of anti-ICE protests. Homeland Security says robberies, carjackings, shootings have plunged 35 to 50%. On Wall Street, the Dow's surging to a new all-time high this morning. America's listening to Fox News.
3 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Killed in the line of duty. Sunny skies, it'll be that way all day today. Currently 48 on Monument Circle with a high at 55. I'm Sherrod Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02, brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Corporal Blake Reynolds, the man state police says was helping a semi-driver this morning on I-69 in Delaware County. State Police Sergeant Scott Keegan said things went downhill from there.
While the deputy was outside the vehicle, another semi that was northbound on I-69 lost control and collided with both the deputy's vehicle and the disabled semi that was on the side of the road.
Keegan said Reynolds was pronounced dead at the scene. He was a 4-year veteran of the Delaware County Sheriff's Office and got married to his wife, Allison, in June of this year. A man is in critical condition after being shot on Indy's east side. IMPD officers went to the 6,000 block of Windsor Drive just after 8 this morning. The man was taken to a hospital. No other details about the shooting have been shared. This morning in Fort Wayne, the 4th Annual Northeast Indiana Defense Summit with Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Secretary of the Navy John Felon speaking, along with Indiana Senator Jim Banks.
President Trump is rebuilding and remaking the United States military into the world's strongest fighting force. And Secretary of War Hegseth is leading the effort daily to achieve peace through strength.
And Secretary Hegseth describing that effort as being America first and peace through strength. Thanks to what forecasters call a powerful geomagnetic storm, the northern lights could be seen all throughout Indiana late Tuesday night. Jason Puma is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service.
We had colleagues essentially all the way from the American Southwest and then down in Alabama and all over the place, really getting good pictures of the northern lights. So it was in Indiana and a lot of the United States as well.
He says the best viewing locations are in quiet, dark areas away from any city lights. You could also see them again this evening. Another night, another loss for the Indiana Pacers, falling to Utah 152-128 last night in Salt Lake City. Head coach Rick Carlisle says it was disappointing giving up that many points.
Yeah, we made mistakes, pretty
pretty clearly, and they had a hop in their step, and they're the ones that played last night. So, it makes it even more disappointing.
Pacer guard T.J. McConnell was back in the lineup for Indiana after sitting out a few weeks with an injury. They'll head to Phoenix next for a game on Thursday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Pat Sullivan here. I've got a fall lifesaver for you, gutter helmet. You know what fall means in Indiana? Leaves, piles of them. And if you've got gutters, you've got a problem, unless you've got gutter helmet like I do. I haven't cleaned my gutters in years. Why? Because gutter helmet does the dirty work for me. This isn't just a cover. It's a patented system that allows water to flow through while the debris slides off and your gutters stay clear. No more ladders, no more scooping out soggy gunk. Just peace of mind. Thousands of Central Indiana homeowners have already made the switch. Gutter helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection since 1981. And it's been protecting my home every time it rains. And right now they're offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing. But don't wait. This deal ends October 31st. Call 800-5HELMET for your free no pressure estimate. That's 800-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
It's wild to think we have an entire layer of government in our state that really doesn't do much, certainly doesn't do anything that somebody else couldn't do. And yet it garners so many bad headlines, and our politicians are so weak, they're just like, let's keep rolling with that.
Let's just keep doing that. Is it wild to think about that, or is it super frustrating?
Well, it's super frustrating, right?
Yeah.
So what we're talking about is township government, and there are more bad headlines as it relates to township government. And this comes out of a story. We've actually talked about this on this program before. It is in Columbus, Indiana. The Columbus Township trustee, this guy's name is Ben Jackson. Now, the Republic down there has stories. All sorts of news outlets have covered this. He's now going to face up to 64 and a half years in prison.
Yikes.
After entering a guilty plea on Monday.
Yeah. He stole and misused over $1.12 million in township funds over 8 years.
And this isn't an issue of whether this guy was totally corrupt and unethical and doing illegal stuff, and obviously he has now admitted he was. There are bad people in all levels of government. But what happened with this guy, when you look at the amount of money that he used, I mean, a lot of this was personal expenses he was paying with the township's credit card, that he was misusing in an illegal manner, and the amount of time it went on and the amount of money that he used, you realize there was just basically no oversight going on here.
Right. There was no checks and balance at all.
He was doing
it's his personal piggy bank.
It's a monumental amount of money over 8 years. Whatever that is. What is that? Almost $150,000 a year, a little bit less than that on average. And who was overseeing this? The answer is basically nobody. There's supposed to be a board that does this, but I can tell you, having dealt with these boards before, they meet at many cases like a couple times a year. You're lucky if somebody reads the documents. And these trustees basically have the rule of the roost, and because they have so little to actually do, you see these sort of things that can take place.
He spent money on personal trips to 10 different countries, retail purchases, personal utilities, home improvement projects, including a deck and landscaping, carpeting, plumbing, electric work, flooring, and children's tuition and school expenses as well.
Yes, so you're talking $1.12 million, I think was the number. And the bigger conversation, though, whether you live in this guy's, I mean, if you live in that community, he just stole your money, basically.
Yeah.
And that's money that could have gone to the schools, the fire departments, police, whatever. But the issue is that we have this layer of government at a time where everybody's screaming about, property taxes, and the schools are saying they don't have enough money, and people are saying we're paying too much money. We have this layer of government that for almost 20 years in the state of Indiana, dating back to when Mitch Daniels was governor and had them in his sights and commissioned that Kernan-Shepard report done by former Democrat Governor Joe Kernan, Republican Chief Justice of the Supreme Court Randall Shepard. And one of the things they said out there is get rid of this layer of government. This is not 1842 anymore. These people don't do anything that another layer of government already existing couldn't do and save everybody a whole bunch of money. Now, they recommended many things, but this was front and center. And here we are almost 20 years later, and these things still exist because the politicians are too cowardly to take them on.
So it's a real good example of the misuse of public funds for nearly a decade. But keep in mind, not only was he stealing the government funds, collecting his salary on top of it for 11 years.
Yeah, and there have been many, many cases of these trustees doing rotten stuff and getting away with it for periods of time just because there is such a lack of oversight going on in these townships. And at a time where we're saying we need to find ways to free up revenue to go to these various government entities who are now singing the blues over Senate Bill 1, it is ridiculous that our state government allows this to exist in its current form and allows this sort of stuff to continue. It's just they just waste taxpayer money. I mean, and they're pretty vocal about it. I think the townships where I live that make up Brownsburg, now somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think both of them are sitting on $1 million in their fund.
Their rainy day fund?
Like, they're not doing anything wrong with it. They're just like, hey, we don't have anything to do with this. Like, it just sits there and collects interest. Shouldn't that go back to the people? At the very least, couldn't we disperse it amongst the entities to fill some of their espoused shortfalls, the towns, the cities, the fire departments, the schools, so to help them out so that they don't have to be doing referendums or whatever. Why does all of this exist if they have so much money that they can't even spend it?
It would require effort.
You're right. So anyway, we wanted to touch on that. We touched on that story before. This guy looks like he's going to prison for a long time, and people need to wake up because while many townships may not be doing anything illegal, when you look at the amount of money they consume and then they don't really have any use for, shouldn't we be doing something about this?
Somebody ought to do something.
Someone should do something. All right, let's see here. So John Fetterman, I come back to, and I feel bad because the guy had a health issue, but if you can't speak, you just can't be in the U.S. Senate. If you can't form coherent sentences, like every Fetterman answer, and it's not like, people stumble over their words, right? Like if you talk a lot, it's going to happen. We do it. But it's every time. It's every clip. And it's these incremental non-sentences.
Why do you think that because he's out there, this whole shutdown, he has been the face, at least one of them, of the Democrats. Why do people keep going to him, and why does he keep putting himself out there?
Well, he's fascinating because if you remember when he ran for the Senate, he was the lieutenant governor before he was a senator, and he was this like uber left guy, and they were just elated when he got elected, and then he figured out pretty quick, I'd rather have a job than be liked by the left, and so he tacked towards the center, and that's fine. Damn, dude, shouldn't you be able to speak? Shouldn't you not put letters on words that don't exist? Shouldn't you be able to get the correct tense of things or the plural of things?
Do you think that the interviewer is not going to ask him the hard questions because of that issue? Like, does he get a pass?
Well, he gets asked the basic stuff that everybody else gets asked. He just can't. He can't speak. I'm sorry. Like, listen to this. Here he is. He's stumbling. He's talking about why he was against the shutdown. He was talking about he wouldn't say whether he wants Schumer gone or not. This guy's a senator.
Well, first of all, it's not like I agreed to that. I mean, I've been consistently. Now, remember, this all that went back to March. I effectively kind of led the charge now that it's wrong to shut our government down. And then enough of us realized that that's just too risky and that's too much chaotic. And then we kept it open. And I know there was a lot of backlash for that. And I declared back then, we'll be right back in the end of September. And I will be there too, because it's fundamentally the wrong thing. When you're confronting mass chaos, I don't think you should respond with more chaos or fight with more chaos. It's like, we need to be the party of order and logic and now respond in a way. And now I refuse to weaponize the SNAP benefit for 42 million Americans, that rely on feeding themselves and their family or making flying in America, less safe. or I refuse not to pay our military and all of the unions attached to all of this and people. So for me, it's like I don't agree with that tactic to respond to circumstances that we're confronting on this.
Am I wrong? It's ridiculous.
No, you're right. He keeps going back to the SNAP. I mean, he's been leaning hard into that.
You know who he is? He is the Farley, you remember that time guy. That's who you remember that time you were in when like Paul McCartney, remember that one time you were in the Beatles? Mm-hmm. That is who he is.
What's that like?
It's just like you ibba dibby boo, bibby zeeby, dibby doo, ba ba, bo do ba, ba bo boo, ba bee. Like that's his every time he answers anything, and it's like he puts LYs on things that don't, or he puts S's, or he doesn't put an S when there should be,
or just a random word.
You should, yes, like merging thoughts, smacking them together. Like, come on. Speaking and being a senator, like that is, I am not, like somebody's gonna be like, you're going after a man who had a stroke. Yeah, I feel horrible that he had a stroke, but we're 3 years on from that. If you still can't speak after 3 years and you're making up words that don't exist and you're slamming words together and your thoughts are being jammed together and you're wheezing like he's out of breath trying to like make thoughts, I'm sorry, I'm done with you. You can't be a senator, and you can hate me if you want for saying that. He should not be a senator.
A lot of people are starting to respect him a little bit more. They see he's going towards the middle. But I want to go back to he keeps talking about the 42 million Americans that are on SNAP benefits. Why are there 42 million Americans on those benefits? By the way, do we have a hunger problem in this country, or do we have an obesity problem in this country? Okay. Which one is it?
Casey, let's do a little exercise here. You be Casey and I'll be Fetterman. You ask me the question. Like, you ask me the hard question, I'll give you the answer.
Rob, do we have an obesity problem in this country or a hunger problem? Which one?
Skmee. Skibba-da-boo-ba. Skibba-da-ba-bee-da-ba. Da. Let it be off. Yeah.
Okay. Those aren't even words, Rob.
42 million.
Shamalama-ding-dong.
Like, it's ridiculous. All right, we got some Trump audio when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
You're going to have to go out there and campaign. You're going to have to go out there and convince. You're going to have to go out there and persuade. You're going to have to find the candidates you want to support and actually support them. But I want it clear. We said it here. The only way out is through. These are hard times, and hard times must create strong women and men. These are the hard times. They're not coming. They're here.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Not only did daylight saving time shorten your hours of sunlight, but it also shortened your to-do list. You're free from things like lawn care, gardening, and frequent pool and grill maintenance. Have you been ignoring your drywall cracks, uneven, sagging, or bouncy floors, sticking windows and doors, bugs and pests, wet basement, or heightened indoor allergies? Don't worry. With a free inspection from Indiana Foundation Service, you can find out what you need to do to protect your home and your family by pinpointing your home's issues at the source. Indiana Foundation Service has flexible financing plans for you to take advantage of, saving you money that you can spend elsewhere. Indiana Foundation Service wants you to feel comfortable in fixing your problems and making a solid investment towards your home's future. Just visit IndianaFoundation.com today and schedule these local experts to come take a quick look. There's a reason they are the trusted local experts.
Indiana Foundation Service, reliability from the ground up.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
This hour powered by Family Heating and Air, your American Standard Air dealer. Nobody cares for you like family.
Old man, look at my life.
It's Neil Young's birthday today.
It is.
He is 80.
80 years old. So, is he married to Daryl Hannah?
He is married to Daryl Hannah.
Still married to Daryl Hannah.
That's right. He's married to Daryl
Okay.
Hannah, who was phenomenal in Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Her putting that black mamba. I think you can spoil a movie if it's been out 20 years, right?
Yes,
Case?
you can.
You can spoil
There's no
alert.
spoiler alerts after that.
She's very prominent in the second Kill Bill movie, which, by the way, did you see they're doing some sort of big, the whole Kill Bill is one thing is now coming to the, I don't know, it's the IMAX or somewhere. It's coming back out in the theater.
Wait, you can watch them all in a row?
I guess. I don't know if they're like
It's a
editing it
marathon.
together better. Kill Bill Volume 2, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Okay.
Right up there with Inglourious Bastards. But she is phenomenal. Daryl Hannah's phenomenal.
Did you say bingo?
When she puts that black mamba in that briefcase and it goes at Michael Madsen, that's great. Anyway, yes, Neil Young is 80. I know a lot of people don't like him because of his politics. I think Neil Young is phenomenal.
Do you?
I can separate the music from the politics. A lot of people can't do that. But I think, yeah, I mean, you look at like the Mount Rushmore of Neil Young songs, I think is phenomenal. You probably get to push back on that and tell me that I'm just some old timer who yells at clouds.
No, I like his music too, especially when is CSNNY, and then he left.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's
gonna
the
do
thing.
my own
Like,
thing.
when you talk about Neil Young's greatest hits, do you include? Because look, After the Gold Rush is one of the 10 greatest songs of all time. No doubt about that. But I mean, you got what? You got Cinnamon Girl, After the Gold Rush, Southern Man, Ohio, Old Man, Needle and the Damage Done, Heart of Gold, Hey Hey My, Rockin' the Free World. That's all. I mean, they're all. Like, I mean, you can name 10 off the top of your head. Boom, 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 just like that.
Yeah, Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
Forgot that one.
Yeah, it's fine.
That one's okay.
Anyway,
that one's just okay. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing too that there's a lot of people that can't, many people who can't separate the politics from the music. I never had a problem with that. Can you do that? Or do you, when you hear somebody, you're like, oh, I know what he said about my favorite politician. I can't.
I have a harder time now than I used to.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be able to separate it, but now I look at someone like, what's that one actor? You know who I'm talking about.
You know, the guy, the thing.
The guy. In the movie that did the thing?
Yeah, he was an actor. He was in a movie.
Right, him. Now I look at him and I'm
Who
like,
are you talking about?
De Niro.
Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty well known. That's kind of a known quantity.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. The guy.
I was
in the
thinking
movie,
about like
the thing.
like the guy. I think talking about Ronnie Howard's brother. Or something.
Clint Howard.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, music is just unlike really anything else. Kev will back me up with this. He's a highly trained musician. Music sort of marks moments in time for people. Like when you hear stuff, you experience things, you associate music with it. And I've always had the theory, like, what am I supposed to do? Disconnect from those
unremember that
those
moment?
Experiences and the things or the moments in time. You can't do that,
Yeah,
right?
you developed a personal relationship with that
That's right.
song or that whatever music you like.
Yeah, is Neil Young an ass? Probably. Would I want to hang out with him? No, but his music is phenomenal. His lyrics are great.
Probably got some really, really good marijuana. I would imagine. I don't know for sure.
You know, I saw Conan.
Just a guess.
It's interesting. Conan O'Brien was a massive Neil Young fan. Pretty sure this is Conan O'Brien. And he got to interview him one time.
Oh,
and it was such
don't do that.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, man, it was kind of disappointing because Neil Young has zero personality. I mean, just none. Just he looks like just comes off as a miserable, rotten individual who has this incredible gift to write music. And I was watching this interview going, man, that's your dude? And that's all the effort he's putting in back to you? Like, even if you... they do all the talk shows, they do all the interviews, but somebody would alert him, hey, Conan is a massive fan of yours. We need to hype the game up. Let's bring him something. Hey, thanks for being a loyal fan all these years. And he just was like totally, he was just Neil Young. And it was like, oh, that'd be so depressing. It'd be so depressing.
Did Daryl Hannah get with him right after she broke up with JFK Jr.? I mean, that's quite a...
She was with JFK Jr.?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they weren't married.
No, they weren't married, but they
were
dated.
just having a good time.
Very publicly, though. They were together.
Well, if you're famous, how do you not date publicly?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, did she get with Neil Young after?
I don't know.
Like,
that's
how far after
no,
her and JFK Jr. broke up?
No. I think she was with Neil Young in the 2010s.
So there was some time there between.
Yeah, because JFK Jr. died in the 90s, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Is that right? Did he go down in the 90s? His plane, I'm sorry, did it go down in the 90s?
Was it? Yeah.
Because I was a kid. I remember that. I'm going to say 95.
1999.
It was 99. Okay. Yeah. So
Oh.
that's a huge difference. Because she was with Jackson Brown for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're telling me she was with JFK Jr., which that must have been after Jackson Brown. I think that was in the 80s.
So then
90s.
she went back to the rock and roll.
Yeah, she's got a type.
Yeah, clearly. And JFK Jr. must have been the outlier in that.
Yeah. What a downgrade to go from JFK Jr.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he
Neil
was,
Young. Because like Jackson Brown is a very good looking person. JFK Jr. is a very good looking person. Neil Young looks like a gargoyle.
Like, you're going for someone who is, goes to the barber shop, has custom-made suits, probably smelled fantastic.
A guy who hasn't done laundry in decades.
Who needs a bar of soap?
Well, it's interesting. Like,
scrubbed on him.
A lot of these dudes, you'll see like old videos of them, these rockers, and be like, oh yeah, when they were younger, they weren't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Neil Young was always bad. He was always horrible.
Mm-hmm.
In the 60s, he was horrible looking.
Well, she obviously loves his heart.
She loves something. I don't know if it's his heart. Probably his wallet.
His big wallet.
All right, we'll play the Trump audio when we come back.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you can save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Cat sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665 or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com every shingle time.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and then kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
End of watch. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:30. A Delaware County Sheriff's deputy killed this morning on I-69. State Police Sergeant Scott Keegan believes the deputy was hit by someone else who was driving a semi.
The other semi-truck driver, we're going to call it the Prairie Farms truck, he was transported to Methodist Hospital in Indianapolis.
The deputy who died has been identified as Corporal Blake Reynolds. He had been with the Delaware County Sheriff's Office since 2022 and got married to his wife in June of this year. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is in Fort Wayne today for the 4th Annual Northeast Indiana Defense Summit. The event is hosted by Indiana Senator Jim Banks. There's a chance we see the northern lights across Indiana again tonight after they stretched across America last night, and temperatures will soon be back in the 60s across the state. Highs might reach 70 on Saturday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. Life Church has campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus great online services. Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. And the great thing about those online services, wherever you're at, Life Church is nearby. Check it all out from the comfort of your couch. Never even need to leave your home. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus great online services. Learn more about everything on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Did you get a heating and air conditioning quote that you're just not sure of? Give us a call for a free second opinion.
317-577-8077 for Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
Hey, Joe, where you going with that gun of yours?
They are still sending me these text messages about redistricting.
Are they? From Fair Maps? They want you to know about it. They want you to call your
I
representation.
don't know who this one's from. I didn't care enough to look, but I've gotten 2 in the last hour. One of them is like specifically call my senator.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to do it? You going to call?
No, of course not, because I think the Republicans should win the elections fairly.
Okay.
Like, actually govern a way people want to vote for you. You know, the most hilarious thing would be if they did this redistricting and Mervan still won up in the first, which I think that's part of their concern. They don't think they can draw that map that's a slam dunk for them to beat him, because he's won the last 2 elections. So we're talking about the first congressional district, which is Chicagoland area.
Lake County.
Yeah, Lake County, and then some of the other surrounding counties. It's about a Democrat +5 county. Now, it's gotten much closer than it used to be over the years. But the last couple elections, Frank Mervan, his father was a congressman before him, has won that election by 5+ points. That's sort of where that district is at. And I just think that the leadership is in Indiana is looking at that going in the Senate. Like, I don't know if we can draw this map to guarantee that this guy loses, especially when what we think would be an increased voter turnout on the Democrat side, or potentially could be. And it's just not, this is not worth the effort for us.
Well, you could also have Jennifer Ruth Green really turn it on and win.
You mean grift harder?
Yeah.
She could grift harder?
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Ruth Green, of course, is the now well, disgraced is a strong word. She is the former, what was she? She was the Public Safety Secretary under Governor Braun, who was there for a few months and then a couple months or several months or whatever. Less than a year, and skedoodled her way out the door under a cloud of scandal and I believe a Inspector General's investigation. And you can read all about that for yourself. You just Google Jennifer Ruth Green.
So did the text say you're only allowed to call if you're in favor of it? What if you're in opposition of it?
I'll read it to you. You want me to read it to you?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me.
I want to know what I'm missing out on.
Pull these up here.
I haven't received
okay,
that
here's the first one. Call Senator Brett Clark today and tell him get on board with fair maps in Indiana. Democrat-run states are trying to rig the midterm elections by changing their election maps. President Trump is fighting back, and Indiana legislators have the chance to stand with our president and pass fair maps. But Senator Brett Clark is refusing to tell Hoosiers if he stands with President Trump or the radical left. Call Senator Clark at blah, blah, blah and tell him Hoosiers want fair maps now, paid for by building a better economy. Reply, stop to end.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Then here's the other one I got.
Oh.
Different phone number. Indiana must step up. The left is mobilizing in states like California, and we can't let them redraw America's future. President Trump's conservative redistricting plan depends on grassroots patriots like you.
Grassroots. That's funny they say grassroots because the chair of the Fair Maps Indiana is a former Trump advisor.
Take 60 seconds and sign your name to support his plan. Now, my response to this would be, hey, I was told I was such a bad Republican I wasn't even allowed into Lincoln Day dinner.
But
now
they want your support.
Yeah, now you want me to stand up and fight. No, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm going to go with your initial observation that I'm such a bad Republican I'm not even allowed in the Lincoln Day dinner. So don't be calling me for support.
You're so bad, you don't even get to have the rubber chicken dinner.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even though I did just do the same thing Donald Trump did. You know, he supported, what's his face? Who's not a Republican.
That guy? What's his face?
Cuomo.
Right.
Yeah.
Who ran as an independent.
And no offense, my previous support of a libertarian like Jeff Maurer for Secretary of State, because Diego Morales, the Republican, is a complete unethical garbage scumbag, is far better than Donald Trump lining up with Andrew Cuomo, who ruined society in New York. So if we're going to play who supported the worst guy that wasn't a Republican, I'll put Rob Kendall's support.
Your pick was better?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Okay.
But anyway, this is ridiculous. Like, you're just going to bombard. That'll show them. We'll just mass text people over and over and over again. That'll make them do what we want them to do.
The guy, the chair for Fair Maps Indiana, the guy who sent you that text or who's in charge of
Is that Marty?
It is Marty.
I played golf with Marty
He's
one time.
a former advisor to Mike
Marty.
Pence.
Oh, yeah, I know Marty. I played golf with Marty one time. This has been years ago, and seemed like a pleasant enough individual. But I've conversed with Marty before. Marty, no, I'm not doing it. Sorry. You're wasting your money by text messaging me. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Look, Marty, Brett will probably fold anyway because he's a total chicken coward, so he'll probably do whatever you want him to do. Anyway, you don't need to waste your time on this. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, they still have a couple weeks anyway.
That's right.
To determine. Did Good?
I don't know.
What did he decide?
Well, I don't live
We're still waiting?
No, he said he's going to make up his mind on the floor.
Right.
70-0.
But he's on a committee, though, so he probably has to make up his mind before then.
70-0, Casey, were his constituents, and he's like, I'm going to make up my mind on the floor.
I'm not sure.
All right. We got Trump audio here. Let's see. So I thought this was interesting. He was talking, this would have been yesterday, which was Veterans Day. Trump was talking about changing the culture of America, and it should be Victory Day, not Veterans Day. And he said, we're only fighting wars to win.
When I see other countries celebrating Victory Day, I watched it. I watched UK, I watched Russia. They were celebrating Victory Day, World War II. And I said, we got to have a Victory Day. Nobody even talked about it in our country. But from now on, we're going to be celebrating Victory Day for World War I, for World War II, and frankly, for everything else. Under the Trump administration, we're restoring the pride and the winning spirit of the United States military. That's why we have officially renamed the Department of Defense back to the original name, Department of War. And remember, we won World War I, we won World War II, we won everything in between, we won everything that came before, and then we brilliantly decided to change the name of this great thing that we all created together, and we became politically correct. We don't like being politically correct, so we're not going to be politically correct anymore. From now on, when we fight a war, we only fight for one reason: to win. We fight to win.
That's hard to argue with any of that.
No, I mean, that should be the point, right? To win a war. However, he says that, you know what really bothered me is he was standing next to the former Al-Qaeda leader the day before Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Laying out the red carpet.
A lot of people were very upset about that.
Welcome to the White House. Yeah. And did he say we're going to call it Victory Day on Veterans Day?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to sit so well with some veterans.
Well, I saw that some people were very upset that he met with that guy.
They should have a day to be honored.
Yeah. All right. So he was on, where did he go? Who was this? He was on some podcast. I forget who it was, but anyway. Oh, it was McAfee's show. That's what it was. It was McAfee's show. Mm-hmm. He was on McAfee's show, he being Trump.
Some podcast.
Well, these all run together, right? Yeah. Like, we got so much audio, and I'm trying to figure out who it was. He's on McAfee's show, and he starts talking about how NFL football coaches should be generals.
I've often thought, strategy-wise, you see some of the good strategy. Every once in a while, you see some pretty bad strategy, too. We can name plenty of that. But you see strategy. I've often said we go out and we get the best 4 or 5 coaches, put them in a room, if you go into war, and you use them as because they do it. Ultimately, it's all about strategy. It's about attack. It's about, what angle. Give me the angle of attack. I'll bet you some of these coaches would make great warring generals.
Okay. So if you get strategy and planning and leadership, he's got a point there of getting, that type of person in a position.
Seem the blocking scheme of some of these teams. You really want to put our men and women.
Who would you pick?
Saban.
Oh my gosh, that was going to be number 1 on my list.
Oh, perfect, great, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Saban would be overwhelmingly
disciplined, demanding.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. He's built winning teams.
Yeah, no. I think
somebody like that.
Overwhelming.
Now you got to Belichick.
Now Krzyzewski was in the military, so he'd be good. He was coached with Bob Knight, or he played for Bob Knight at the Army.
Okay.
So
he's got experience.
Or coached with Bob Knight.
Right.
Played and coached with him. Anyway, the point is, he'd be fine.
Yeah. Maybe old Belichick when he was with the Patriots.
Well, but I
don't know now.
Well, he doesn't have a Tom Brady. Does the military have a Tom Brady? Do we have a great player? I mean, obviously our men and women are great, but I'm saying some player that Belichick had with the Patriots that's so heads and tails above everybody else that you just win every time you go out there, regardless of what anybody else does. Does he have that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think they're more into the team effort.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. You desperately want to play this Mondami clip. You've been asking every break. Are we going to play them?
No, I was just asking if we were.
Do we have time? No, we don't
prepared.
have. All right. We got to do a break.
Well, he said he was going to call Trump.
Yeah, you were every break. Can we play Mondami? He's so good looking.
No. Ew. Abdul's going to join us next.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Republicans banning the media from these Lincoln Day
That
dinners.
seems to be happening more and more.
Yeah, this is interesting. We'll get into it next.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Yes, I did. I shot her. I caught my lady messing around town. And I gave her the gun. I shot her.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy and Tony Kennett. The Tonus will call in. Let's have some fun. 93 WIBC.
Mark Dietel, the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Neil in Indy had already moved and listed his old house with an agent friend for 60 days. He wasn't happy. He decided to go with Mark Dietel. And after about 15 days on the market, Mark Dietel's team sold Neil's house as is for the price he needed.
Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert we trust and recommend on the Hammer and Nigel show. And it's the guarantee that separates Mark Dietel from the competition. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Nobody does it better than Mark Dietel. Contact him today. 317-755-4232. 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
So the weather is finally starting to cool down. Make sure you and your family are prepared with AAA Hoosier Motor Club memberships. Whether it's a flat tire, dead battery, running out of gas, locking your keys in the car, AAA has your back. Anytime, anywhere, 24/7, 365. And it's not just roadside assistance. AAA members enjoy exclusive perks at local favorites like Ruoff Music Center, the Indianapolis Zoo, Symphony on the Prairie, and more. You also get free travel planning and discounts on hotels and rental cars. It practically pays for itself. So if you're looking for that peace of mind on the road and more money in your wallet, do yourself a favor and visit AAA today. Get your AAA membership at AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit your local AAA office. And don't forget to ask about their competitive insurance rates, auto, home, life, and more, because you don't have to be stranded on the side of the road to get help from AAA.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is JoynerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at JoynerHomes.com.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switch now. That's shopify.com/switch now.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game with We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995.
An official message from Medicare. Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Ease into game day at the Ultimate Colts Tailgate, happening at the Slippery Noodle, Sunday, November 30th. Doors open at 9:30. Good vibes, great food, and pregame fun with fellow fans.
Give me silver, blue, and gold. The color of the sky told my rain.
So are the Republicans banning the media in Indiana? Let's find out. It's Kendall Casey Show. Rob Casey's here. Look who it is. He's an author. He's a broadcaster. He's a provocateur. Abdul Hakim Shabazz, hello.
Good morning, my friend. It's a beautiful day to sue somebody for something, isn't it?
Best known as the owner and operator of IndyPolitics.org. Okay, so there's
legitimate media, by the way.
We got into this. Hey, look, anybody wants to go cover the State House, you want to provide information to the masses, as long as you don't have your photo in a post office somewhere or not on the run from the law. I support it. You know, my opinion on that if you're going to behave yourself and be there, the more information we have on these scoundrels out into the public, the better we're all going to be.
Yes. However, there's a caveat to all that. And in a nutshell, what we're talking about is John Schmitz, the perennial loser candidate, applied for media credentials for his mouthwash podcast show that all the 13 people watched. I'm 3 of them. And so he got credentials, and so did a gentleman by the name of Steve Whitmore.
Now, Whitmer got his because of our show, so you better be careful here, because our people were the ones who stood up for Whitmer. And look, before you get into your... I'm going to let you have your spiel here. I'm just going to say, I don't have any problem with either of these guys being there. The more people covering these scoundrels, the better off we're all going to be. But you have an opportunity to inflame my audience now. Go ahead.
Well, it's like I wrote for the cheat sheet. Welcome to the party, pal.
Well, right.
It's a lot of you. And you're right. You know, more coverage, more eyes and everything makes absolute perfect sense. However, I don't think they fully appreciate what they're about to get into, because a media badge just gets you into the building. It does not guarantee you access. For example, if there's no rule that says lawmakers have to talk to you. There's no rule.
They've been ignoring me for years.
Yeah, there's no rule that says, you have to do this or they have to do this. You just have to give you access. And by the way, your access is still limited. For example, on the Senate floor when they're in session, we can't be on the floor.
Yeah.
We have to be in the press gallery. And by the way, number 2, you got to wear a coat and tie.
Okay, so I didn't know we were going to go here with this, but this is fascinating to me because you've been in there 20 years covering the State House. Our point was, and we use a lot of indie reporter stuff. We think they do good, very interesting work. But our point was, even if you didn't like the guy, if you're going to let Gabe Whitley in, if you're going to give Gabe Whitley a media badge, it's hard to go much lower than that. You basically got to say everybody's coming in.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you can demonstrate that you're media, not just the general public, that makes absolute perfect sense. My thing is, like, hey, come on board. We can always use extra eyes and ears. However, it's a lot more work than what you think it is. It isn't just somebody setting up a camera, in the back room, or just mouthing off or shouting off questions to state lawmakers. It doesn't work that way. It has never worked that way. The most obnoxious reporter who's ever worked the State House is me.
Well, the most interesting part of the State House this year could be the interactions with the media amongst themselves.
Exactly. Because, once again, already the grumbling's already started that my brothers and sisters in the press have begrudgingly accepted these folks is here because the media has changed over time. We all freely admit that. However, the media, the State House meets from 8 to 5, for the most part. Some late nights during session. So, and for most of us, this is our day job. This is how we make a living. If you're John Schmitz or Steve Whitmer, those guys, okay, you got to be here 8 to 5, but you got a day job. So how do you reconcile your day job with covering the State House? I'm not saying that you can't do it, because I teach to do a bunch of other things during the day. However, I don't think they fully appreciate the work that's going to be involved in doing all this.
Okay, real quick. This is interesting to me. So the Republicans appear to be banning media from events. Now, I'm not talking official government events, but I'm talking about party functions. So this was a big deal a couple weeks ago during the state fall dinner. They said no media allowed. People are like, what is going on? You talked about it. Nikki Kelly talked about it. Because normally in the past, why wouldn't you want as much free attention as you can get? Unless you're planning on saying something super controversial or have some highly controversial figure as your featured speaker, why wouldn't you tell everybody to come on in?
And that I'm still trying to figure out what their logic and rationale was. Because at the state fall dinner, I can't remember who the speaker was. I don't think anybody remember who the speaker was.
Yeah, it was some guy who I'd never heard of. Who is the RNC chair now?
Yeah.
Grattans? I don't even know who the guy was.
Who basically told him, hey, by the way, redistricting is no big deal. So I don't know what you guys get all worked up over. See? Because I think, and banning the media doesn't necessarily mean the media won't be there. Because we all have friends and eyes and ears in the room. And one thing that's going to happen is people are going to tell us what happened, what was said. And by the way, could you send me a couple of pictures too? Because as soon as their segment was over, like click, here we go.
Yeah, so then this happens again now in Owen County, right? Like Braun was there, Micah was there, Rod Bray was there. And they were like, well, if the media wants to come, they have to buy a ticket. And I was like, the media having to pay to tell the public what's going on, I don't know. That doesn't really sit right with me. We have to give you money for the privilege of covering you?
And here's the fun part is, I would argue, and I thought about this between the taping of State House happenings and we sat down to do this today, is they know for a fact that most media can't give money to political parties and political candidates.
Well, why would you?
Because
why would you do that?
Now, I've done it a couple times just for giggles. I was like, do I really want to spend $40 to drive down to Owen County? Like, nah, these white folks aren't my problem today, as my late lovely mother would say. However, it doesn't build goodwill, and the day is going to come when somebody's going to do something stupid, or they already done something stupid, or will do something stupid, is you're going to need a friend in the media to at least get your side of the story out. And West media people, we have very, very long memories.
Well, that's the thing. What's the old saying? Don't fight fights with people who have ink by the barrels or something like that,
Never
right?
pick a fight with a guy who buys ink by the barrel, has a broadcast tower.
There you go. Yeah. And what do you think they're doing? Why are they, what possibly could have been going on at the Owen County Lincoln Day, even though it did involve Braun and Micah on the stage? I don't want to get that in just a second, but what were they worried about? Who did they think, what were they in fear of?
Here's what I think they were afraid of. They're afraid of Micah saying something stupid, and the media would pick up on it, and that would be the story. It's just blatant paranoia.
Well, with these guys, who knows?
And what I got to do is hey, just let the governor and the lieutenant governor know, hey, the media's going to be here, so just be cognizant of that.
Yeah. Speaking of Braun and Micah, they appeared very chummy on stage together, which is interesting because Braun, well, who knows with Braun, but at least someone in Braun's orbit has to be aware of the allegations surrounding Micah and his office and the grand jury. And then you've got Micah, who promised to be the check and balance on Braun, and they're just like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger and twins up there together, right? Just the best pals. If you're Braun, why would you do that? Look, maybe nothing comes of that grand jury investigation, but you have to know that's going on. And now you can't distance yourself from him because you guys were on that stage together.
Oh, if you're the governor, here's the line. If you're the governor, here's what I tell the governor. Governor, okay, look, we know Micah's got all these issues surrounding his office, but here's the thing. He hasn't been charged with anything, and everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So until we get some more concrete information of wrongdoing, we're just going to be business as usual.
Well, business as usual is showing up to work. It's not sitting on a stage together in your free time, chumming around together.
Yeah, but still, Governor, business as usual. And someone asks you, we know they're out there. We'll let the system work out and take its place. Now let's talk about freedom and opportunity.
Yeah, he seems very afraid of Micah, which, Merritt was talking about this in State House Happenings. You never hear him condemn Micah, no matter what the thing is. He never stands up to him. He never pushes back. He never calls him an idiot. Nothing. He's afraid. It is amazing that the governor of the state of Indiana appears petrified of his lieutenant governor, and I don't know why. Yeah, you're nodding. You're trying to come up with a way to spin it, and you can't because it appears to be very true.
No, I'm not saying that it's not true. We'll save it for another edition. Because later today, I'll actually be at an event over on the east side of town with the governor and with Micah. And so that's one of the questions I plan to ask.
Very good. All right, Abdul keeps your boss. Find him at indypolitics.org. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that'll do it for us today. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Casey. And most importantly, thank you to you. Without you, there is no us. Tony Katz up next. Kendall Casey, 93 WIBC.
Are you about to make a $100,000 Social Security mistake? And the worst part, you'll never even know it. The biggest mistake with Social Security isn't when you file, it's how Social Security is impacted by your IRS.